Good morning and happy Pride Month. Hell yes. Great start. And I mean that. Holy shit.
I also have a can, but it's already been cracked. But it is a black cherry seltzer.
Hell yeah. Yari, what do you got?
I'm drinking a Coke Zero.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. I do not have a can right now. Do not have any cans in the space station
Can
right
streamer.
now. Mm-hmm.
No, you have some cans. I know you do.
That's true. That's true. Happy Pride Month, folks. Happy
You also got some letters.
Yeah. So, what?
You also got some letters.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for that. Yeah. Anyway, so welcome in, folks. Let me say hi here. Hello, Ray. Hi, Ethan. Hello, Casey. Hey, Casey, congrats on getting first, because you're the first person to use the first command when the stream was actually live. Hello, Sheburger. Hello, Nyari. Hello, Wolfie. Hi, Vixie.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi, Pecan.
Hi.
Hello, Fira. Hello, Cass. Hello, Frin. Hello, Groot. Hello, Clips. Hello, Ohm. Hello, Code Blue. And hello, Puff. All right.
Hello.
So, folks.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome in, folks. Welcome to Pride Month here, and welcome to the first Pride Month meeting of the Gender Council. I think this is the first time we
got a
have
lot to say.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, we did this last year, didn't we?
No, not during Pride Month.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we did it for we had the meeting, like the formal gender council meeting in December during my HRT anniversary. That's why it felt like Pride. Yeah, but no,
okay.
Pride Month last year. It was whenever Puff did the illustration of us as the gender council. Like,
Right.
Yes.
you know, that's when it formed. Where it was like, well, we have to do it now.
Well, you have to.
Yeah. But this seemed like a very like good like way to kick off Pride Month, folks.
Thank God.
Yeah. Before we get going with that though, let me do a quick shout out here. Right here. Later tonight, the stream starts at 5. I will be on at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Friend of the show, Remy, will be coming back to Twitch formally. She has been off Twitch for a while, and is coming back. She has a new model. She has a whole new attitude with it. Thank you. And like, I'm really excited for it. I'm really excited for what she's doing. Remy has incredible fucking energy. I'm really happy she's back. And yeah. She's a Tanuki now. So get ready for that. I'm excited. I've seen the model. It looks great.
Poggers.
Yeah, no, it is. That was Poggers.
That was Poggers.
Poggers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I will be on at 6 for her new talk show, INOS Radio, and that will be at 6 p.m. And we're scheduled to go for 2 hours. We'll see how that fucking goes. Honestly. Yeah. It might only go 2 hours. Sheburger, I know what you're thinking. No. I've seen the model, and no.
No.
I understand why you would say that, but no. But anyway.
My Tanuki model, however.
So you're a Tanuki. So like, do you have the?
I don't know.
Oh my God, you're like 4 foot high with the balls. That's crazy.
Eclipse saying strange. I would say this, but be normal.
Are you like Nakey Jakey, where you sit on him like a fucking yoga ball?
Oh my God.
I promise we will not be normal.
Yeah. All right. Let me swap us over here. Let me turn my model on. Actually, let me do that here.
Can't just ask a Tanuki. Yes, I can.
If she's here, if you know what, if Remy's here, you
I
can
did it
ask
all
her.
for the Tanuki.
God damn it.
Tanuki!
Hello, Sabrina. Anyway, so part of this stream is that I asked, like, you know, this is a meeting of the Gender Council, and I asked that, like, if people had questions about gender or things they wanted us to talk about regarding gender, we'll talk about them. And so I opened up the Revo Spring to it. We do have a few questions for it, and the way we're gonna handle this is, I'm gonna propose a question to the council, and I'm gonna do some races while we're talking about it.
Okay.
And you know, after we answer a question,
race.
then I finish a race. We'll do that. Yes, Vixie, what was that?
I like race.
Yeah. And Puff, I'm gonna say it is not too late to submit questions. So hold on, let me make a little thing here.
Rebo. Go to the Rebo.
Ashely, not party. There we go, and I'm gonna go ahead and give that a pin. There we go. So, we're not doing a formal segment. It's a little looser this time. I'm just going to ask the question, and we're gonna answer it here. And Sheburger, you can submit a question. Yeah. Okay. So, Vixie, Nyari, I am gonna bring up our first question here.
Sure.
Do you want something like a little softer, or you want to just get into like a tough one, a tough long one to start out?
You know what? Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Let's get the tough one out of the way first.
Yep. And I want to note, all Revo Spring questions are going to be anonymous here, and that is important to me for this. So, here's the first question. I'm non-binary. I find myself only attracted to femme-adjacent people, so I say lesbian, sapphic, and I'm relatively T for T. I've been asked before, how can I be a he/him lesbian? I'm not sure how to answer that question, since I don't really care what pronouns used for me. How would the Gender Council handle a situation like this? Do you have any advice?
I got you.
Yeah, you want. All right, Nyari, you wanna
Kicking my feet up because I was talking about this last night. Ugh.
Yep. So I'm gonna get a race going here. Go ahead, Nyari.
So here's the thing, right? I'm a pan lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to explain that to people all the time. There's a difference between romantic and sexual interest.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
The same applies for pronouns because it's like you are non-binary. You know, you've established that you're not really like, if I recall correctly, they said like they don't really care about the pronouns.
Yes, that is what it said. Also, I have put a screenshot of the question on screen so people know what we're talking about. All names are cropped out, but not that there are any on Vivo Spring. But I just wanted to point it out there, so people will know what we're talking about. Continue, Nyari.
I would say, like, you can absolutely be a he/him lesbian because,
absolutely.
At the end of the day, your gender is not strictly like mask, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Nyari,
Hold on.
Oh.
Nyari, you were breaking up a bit there, Nyari.
you're roboting super hard.
Hold on a second here.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh.
Yeah, let's see if she can reconnect here. Oh, let me adjust the channel here and let me drag her back in. Okay, Yari, you there?
Hello?
There you go. Much better.
Okay, that's much better.
Much better. Yes.
Fucking Discord, suck the shit out of my ass from the back.
Yep. Hey, anyway, you were saying. Yeah.
I really just don't think it's that complicated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, you're non-binary. You use, I presume, he, they.
Yeah, they said they don't care what pronouns are used.
Or, like, you don't really care. You know, like, I don't know, being a he, him, I don't, like, who fucking cares? Like, if people, people always want to, like, again, this is, like, another thing where you have to, like, this is just a problem where people don't know how to separate their internal indoctrination to what I like to call boy thinking.
Yeah. Oh. I hate how real boy thinking feels here.
Explain boy thinking.
Yeah. Please explain what you mean by it.
So, side quest here, boy thinking. Boy thinking is, let me give you an example. You hurt somebody.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And you're not quite sure, like, where it went wrong, like, where the bigger problem is. You know that you did, but you're not really, like, understanding the full picture until it happens to you. And then you're like, oh, I know how this person felt. That's boy thinking.
Yes. Yeah.
Because boys do that. Boys do that.
Yeah.
Cis boys, for the record. But
yes.
But I'm like, that's boy thinking. So
it's a thing where
if you're looking at he, him, lesbian, you're looking at the pronouns and then you're looking at lesbian and you're thinking to yourself, well, these things can't be the same because I thought lesbians were femme or are attracted to, like, femme, but you use he, him, so thereby you have one side of the coin that contradicts the other because you're just looking at it from a surface level kind of, point of view.
Right, yes.
But at the same time, it's like when you really dig deep into it, you're non-binary, so thereby you don't really subscribe to any gender, but you like femme. Like, for me, like, I'm non-binary, but I lean femme, so it's kind of like who cares? Who cares?
A lot of it stems, I feel, from, like, it's... And I'm going to be saying this a lot, like, today. Gender is fucking made up. Like,
that's true.
We made it up. Like, the fact that, like, there are other cultures out there in the world that, like, do not adhere to a binary male-female, like, gender... like, should be enough proof positive enough that it's like, oh no, you can really do whatever you want because everyone's doing whatever they want out there. Why restrict yourself with it? And it's like you don't even have to, like, it's not even like if you, like, have to, like, pick, like, one and be like, okay, you're trans, but you only get to do it, like, once. You'll regret it or something. And it's like, no, man. Gender,
also on the other
gender
hand,
fluidity is a thing as well.
ask yourself this, right? When you're thinking about like, can I be a he/him lesbian? If you use he/him pronouns and you like women, or you like femme presenting, femme leaning, like even in a non-binary kind of way, like ask yourself, are you straight by that context?
Are you?
No, then you're a lesbian.
Yeah.
You know, if that just sounds right in your gut, then do it.
Yeah, precisely. That's how I feel with it. It's like, here's the thing. Nobody, if anyone comes after you like for it, it's like they're full of shit. Anyone who comes after you, try to gatekeep what you say, try to correct you on what you say or how you identify or anything of the sort, they're full of shit. All of them.
And they're trying to sell you something.
Exactly, they are trying to fucking sell you something there.
It's just like you really have to you really have to do. You have to compartmentalize it, and then you have to do like process of elimination. You have to be like, well, I'm not sure that I can call myself a lesbian because of these variables. Well, then ask yourself, are you straight? No.
Yeah.
And there you go. Now you're getting to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
You know, just go with what your gut is telling you. Go like, you know, when I came out as a pan lesbian, it's like that feels right. That is right because I am pansexual, but I'm homoromantic.
Mm-hmm. I want to read what Eclipse said here, because she said, this may sound crazy, but I've actually been anxious about calling myself a bisexual lesbian for a long time. I only really changed my mindset on this recently. I mean,
exactly.
Biphobia, I believe, is a fucking problem in like the sapphic community. Like a huge fucking problem with it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Here's my thoughts on this.
Please.
To me, that this is entirely my experience, but like when I was first coming out, you know, I actually wasn't that excited about being a girl.
Mm-hmm.
I was excited about being a lesbian. And I think that should probably go into your. It's not just about being a woman who loves women. It's about being able to love women in a certain sapphic sort of way, because you know there's a difference between love for a woman from straight heterosexual point of view and love from a sapphic point of view.
Yeah,
and
very much so.
I think if you understand that innately, then you can be a lesbian who's just your gender is whatever. Because then it's about how you love and who you love, rather than who you are loving.
That's another good way.
Who you are as a lover.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I dare people to tell me that my relationship is not a lesbian relationship because Odd and I are both non-binary. It's like, if only you saw the way we love, because it is, like you said, very sapphic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like either one of us get dysphoric from calling ourselves lesbians.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's... I had a thought, and I'm not sure if I should say this out loud, because this might get me killed. Smile.
By who?
Not like actually killed, but like people might send me mad mails. I don't know.
Well, your email is not available on the channel, not me.
That's true.
Not yours.
Oh, that's true. I won't face any consequences.
Yeah. People will write into my channel and complain about it. So go ahead.
I think more and more lesbian is becoming something separate from being a homosexual woman.
How do you mean? How do you mean by that?
I mean, like the way I was thinking about it was like, you know how gay used to exclusively mean like leather daddies and the leather community, that sort of thing, BDSM?
Yes.
But they grew apart from that. The gay community is no longer just also the BDSM and leather communities, but they're separate now, but also connected. And I think it's kind of like that.
Okay.
it's a bit harder to define. It's not like you can just go, I wear plaid, so that means I'm a lesbian. But
yeah.
It's something that you're gonna have to debate with yourself a lot.
Yeah.
I think.
You're
gonna. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, hell is a question here. I think you mean breaking out of a stereotype. Maybe
breaking out of a stereotype, maybe, but it's hard to say because sometimes those stereotypes are comfortable too. Because like I mentioned with the plaid, or any other thousands of lesbian jokes we have.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not about breaking out or into or adopting a stereotype. It's more allowing yourself to open up, I believe, to it's like on the tip of my tongue. It's not getting there, but yeah, point is it's becoming. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I have a thought about this that
Please.
maybe touches on what you're trying to get at, maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
Also, let me say hello to Aardvarks, Squid, and Hell, because I didn't do that yet. Could it stem from the fact that because being gay and lesbianism is something that there's a lot of history about it, and then there's being people being more openly transgender now is an even more recent phenomenon. I feel trans people have existed for a long time, but in a very closeted sort of way until fairly recently.
Oh, can I say a brief thing about that real quick before you continue on with this?
Please. Yeah.
I will say, if you ever feel like, shit, am I making this up, or is this possible? Is this real? You didn't come up with it first.
Yeah. No.
You did not invent this. If other people have thought of this, and people have been thinking of this for decades, whether or not that means it's quote-unquote true, that means that the idea has been existing in people's minds for generations.
Yes.
So take that into consideration if you ever think, I don't know if I can be lesbian. I don't know if I can be a he/him lesbian. I don't know if I can be a non-binary bisexual lesbian. People have been whatever. You ever seen that one post that's a bunch of people from the 80s describing their gender, and one person's I'm a goddess. You can use thee and thou when you talk to me, or I don't know, I'm just kind of a ramble idiot kind of person, and
well, if I could extrapolate anything from this to put it in very simple terms. WLW does not exclusively, I think people forget about QLW. Everybody's so WLW, women loving women, but QLW, queers loving women, that is also the same thing.
Yes, very much so.
Sapphic is described very bluntly as a romantic relationship with women.
Yeah.
Even if you're non-binary and you don't lean femme, or you're not, woman aligned, right? You still find an attraction to women, or to femme-leaning, femme-presenting, women-aligning queer people. That is lesbianism. That is being sapphic, just purely in blunt terms. And also, let's not forget that language is, we could get Blanc in here too. Language is something that constantly evolves, and with the evolution of humanity comes a different description of what we once thought. I mean, you go back 40 years, people weren't really publicly acknowledging non-binary or transgender. It's there, people know about it, but it hasn't reached the forefront like it has in this day and age.
Yeah.
So imagine for 25, 30 years, everybody's just being a lesbian is a woman loving a woman, without really understanding that if you're queer and you love women, it's not outrageous to say that you're also a lesbian, or that you practice, sapphic relationships.
I think also, and this is the point I was getting at before. Also, hello Juliet, welcome in. I feel maybe some people get caught up in the fact that and I think some people, because I'm counting myself with this, which is why I feel confident saying it. This might stem from some people feeling like they're not trans enough. to take on like that certain label, you know. And it kind of like plays into like what you were saying, like, you know, with like terminology here. It's like it's always ever evolving and sort of thing. It can encompass other things. And sometimes people are just like, well, I'm in a trans relationship, but it's straight passing, so it doesn't feel like real. And it's like, no, man, no, you're queer. That counts. It fucking counts.
I'm gonna say this.
Yeah, please.
All right, I'm gonna say this. And this goes to there's a lot of queer people in this chat right now, and I'm gonna fucking give you some homework to do for the rest of your life. I need you to take the phrase straight passing and remove it, excise it completely from your mind. I am so fucking tired of hearing those two words together, straight passing. There is no such thing. That is people, you have a little goblin in your head gaslighting you right now because you have so much internalized trauma from, you know, developing yourself as a queer person. And you know what? That's not your fault. That is, I don't want to sound like, hey, that's on you, because we live in a society, but we do. And that has been the lesson taught to us as children and as young adults. And as you develop as a queer person and you start questioning that line of thinking, like,
Yari, it's doing it again.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay. I will, when she comes back, I will let her continue her line of thought. Oh, fuck. I'm not gonna win this race now. I'm not gonna win this race now. Oh wait, maybe I am. Yeah,
you're fine.
I'm the greatest gamer. I'm the greatest fucking gamer.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, I gotta drag her back in. There we go. Let me set the channel to be like 3. I forgot it was at that. There we go. Now you should be able to get back in. Nyari, please continue your point, please.
No, I think I just had to reset my router, so I did that real quick.
Okay, cool.
I hate being interrupted by my internet.
Nah, yeah.
Anyway, trying to get back on my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh my god. Help me. What was like the last?
You were talking about excising straight passing out of your language.
Oh, yes. So I need you to completely remove that from your mind. I'm not saying that that's something you say. I know a lot of people who are cis talk about straight passing. I feel like that's just a phrase that not straight, but cis people say as like, oh, it's a straight passing relationship. The poor bisexuals of the world have to deal with that every fucking day. I know this is somebody who dealt with it before I came out as gender non-conforming, where I would say I'm bisexual and I would date like, you know, a cis woman, and people would think, oh, well, are you really bisexual? Because I've never seen you date a guy. And I'm like,
oh my god, that's the stupidest shit imaginable. Like,
and I'm like, that is really dumb, because like, okay. And mostly this comes from people who are like gold star lesbians or gold star gay people who are like, I've never like even thought about branching out. And it's like, that's because you're gay. Okay, that's because you're gay. That's because you knew that you were a lesbian or that you were gay very early on in your life. And so the idea of developing a sexual or romantic attraction with somebody of the opposite sex just never struck your mind. But for a lot of us who still retain that sexual attraction, that romantic attraction to multiple genders, like, life is a beautiful thing. It works in magical ways. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I have to... Like, what is this, a fucking office job where I have to meet my dick sucking quota to have people not feel like I'm any less bisexual? Like, I mean, sorry. Right now I'm operating at a 70-30 in my dating history. I gotta bump those numbers up. I gotta suck more dicks.
Those are rookie numbers. You gotta bump those up.
Yeah. Yeah, come on. It's no, but it's fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid. Like, that people think that way. It's like dog. We got enough shit from heterosexual people coming after us. We don't need infighting like to this level, okay?
I just think at the end of the day, to really put a nice ribbon on this conversation, etymology is a tricky thing to navigate, as is language. Things evolve, but in your heart of hearts, if you're like, I want to be a he, him lesbian, like, even though this is like how I want to go about my identity, and this is how I want to go about my sexuality and my orientation, then fucking who cares?
Yeah.
Who fucking cares? Because you are sapphic. You are gay. Who cares?
Yeah. Let me. We got some good comments here. I wanted to say. Also, hello, Ash. Let's see here. Aardvark sent. Aardvark, don't worry. Vivo Spring, you do not need a login for that. So it more than likely got sent just anonymously. Don't sweat that. Juliet saying, "Are you sure you're bi? Are you sure you want to say that? I carry around a box cutter 80% of my day now." Yeah, I think every queer person should carry around a box cutter for 80% of their day.
It's just like Monogatari.
Yes.
I carry a box cutter in my skirt, among other things.
Oh dear. I mean, hell yeah. Fira saying, which feeds into the stereotype bisexuals can't be monogamous loyal. Where the fuck did that come from, honestly? My God.
I love, okay, I'm sorry. If we're gonna go, I love when people talk about stereotypes in the gay community, because one time somebody had said that to me, Fira. Somebody, a gay cis man that I knew at a convention, we were passing the blunt around, and he was talking about this kind of stuff. And he was like, oh, I don't really want to date bisexual people because I'm worried that, they can't be loyal and they can't be monogamous because they're interested in multiple genders.
What the fuck?
That increases the theoretical casting pool that people have in their minds towards bisexual people. And I'm like, that is such a nasty stereotype coming from a gay cis man whose entire stereotype. I've been in the gay community for a very long time, and the biggest stereotype with gay cis men is that they are cheaters.
Ugh, God.
So for you to fucking look me in the eyes and say that is really fucking
that's
bold.
wild. That is wild. Jesus Christ.
You are bold to say that because I think you're projecting, because you're mad that the stereotype you have is for being a cheater.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Let me read Puff's message here. It sucks you get called straight passing and it isn't your choice too. I had someone call me that in a relationship because I don't pass it to the public as a trans guy, and it hurt a lot, to be honest. Yeah, it does. So that's why we're getting rid of it here. Let's see here. Sabrina is saying, I call myself a lesbian with a white list, and that's what makes me happy. Yeah. And also, Ethan here saying, I get pinned as a straight girl sometimes, and it drives me insane. I literally drop my voice 2 octaves when a pretty girl is around and get blush up to my ears. With a man, I just want to arm wrestle. Yeah. So, this is what I'm saying. You can do whatever the fuck you want, and also you don't even need that justification. God, yeah. Okay, but I think do y'all have any more thoughts on this question? Because we this is a long one.
Hard question.
Yeah, you want to start out hard? Yeah. Yes, Vixie, please go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I think anything else we could bring up in this question could also be brought up by later questions too.
That's so true.
We can move on to the next one.
You got it. Okay. Let me read this one. Hello, Dawn.
Also,
welcome in.
One my running Monster Train 2. Let's go.
Hell yeah. Also, 4 more questions got submitted since we started. So here we go.
Oh boy.
Yeah, no. The people want to talk today.
The people want to know what is the council's thoughts.
Yep.
We have those.
We got those. Don't worry.
I am those.
You so are. You so are.
I'm the most monogamous thought you've ever met in your life.
God.
I'm a whore for odd.
Yep. Next question here. I'm not sure what being a gender enigma where my gender cannot be identified falls on the spectrum.
I'm not sure where being a gender enigma. Oh, hold on. Let me read this.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where, quote, being a gender enigma where my gender cannot be identified falls on the spectrum.
Well, first of all, it doesn't have to fall anywhere.
It doesn't have to, unless you really
want
it to.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
exactly.
You have to ask yourself again. Do you want to have a label? Do you want to be on the spectrum somewhere, or is that just something you feel like you have to do because what you feel like everyone else does that?
Mm-hmm.
Because at the same time, if you really want it, then just go in the thinking tank and really ask yourself, is this something I want? But also, you've got so many years ahead of you, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, if you really want to be, like, if you really want to narrow it down, like, it drives you crazy that you don't really feel like you're part of one thing or the other.
Yeah.
But if you go another 10 years and you still haven't, figured that out, at least you have figured out that, well, I am gender nonconforming. And sometimes that's just as good.
Yeah.
You can be agender, gender fluid, gender queer. You could be, you could be so many things. And so that's why, like, you'll figure it out. It's okay.
It's like my knee-jerk reaction to this question is just, you're probably agender then. Because it's like, a lot of people realize, even I, like, had to, like, figure this out, like, a little bit. Is that because it's like, you could be male, female, non-binary, but it's like, you can also opt out of this system completely. Like, you could just opt out of it, like, fucking completely and be like, nah, I'm not bothering with this.
Yeah,
I don't care.
All of this system is made up.
Exactly. Like I said before.
Like, this is a system that we use to understand ourselves and make ourselves happy. At the same time, it is all made up. If it is not serving your purposes, fuck it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You are not obligated to pick something here or pick a label, Fira has some really good messages here with this. I think it's so valid to say I don't know what my gender identity is, but I'm vibing and looking like this and feeling like this. Genderqueer is such a great label because of how much it covers. Precisely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I kind of fucking went with genderqueer when I first realized, just like, oh, something's up here. With something's up here with this.
Fishy.
Yeah. You don't owe anyone anything in regards to your personal expression and life navigation. Precisely, Casey. I that is something that a lot of these questions amount to. Is like, you don't owe anyone shit, okay? The most important person in this interaction is you and how you feel right now, okay?
But I also think I totally get it. Like, where some people are still not at the point where it's like, because I remember years ago I was like this too, figuring out gender and sexuality and stuff, and you're like, well, all these people do this, so clearly I have to match that, when you actually don't, and you can just not care.
Yeah. I've told the story plenty of times about how, in my trans support group that I went to in Florida, how, there was this one trans woman who got on, people's cases and said, basically non-binary people need to pick a side. Real awful shit, from her on that one.
That is some,
No. She fucking sucked big time, okay?
Do not know how you can get to be there and also think that.
Oh, well, that's the thing, though. It's just, some people,
such a fucking transmed thing to say.
Yeah, it is something that I've noticed happening a lot, is the fuck you got mine attitude.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's see. The reason I asked this is because the desire to do so, but I still present as a man. My voice is weird. Well, who cares?
Figure it out.
Yeah. You can you just because your voice is a certain way doesn't mean that you have to well, that's just me now. It's no, it doesn't.
My voice is very low, and I did as much vocal training as I wanted to. I've talked about this a few times on my stream, but I joke around with this is my cis voice, because genuinely I've gone through a lot of vocal training to get my voice to where I'm happy with it. And I still know that my voice is very low.
Mm-hmm.
And I have, a lot of gravel in my throat.
Yeah.
There's only so much training I can do before it's just straight up uncomfortable to talk. And if anything, I feel more dysphoric trying to change something that, to be honest, I'm kind of okay with. It's just a voice. It's just a voice.
This is a drum I am always...
You're letting them win. You're letting our enemies, our transmed enemies, and our gatekeepers, and our turfs, and fucking gold star bitch asses, you're letting them win by fucking gaslighting yourself into thinking that you have to do something because of an unfortunate, at least to you, an unfortunate side effect of your birth. When it's well, you know what else was an unfortunate side effect of our birth? Our dicks, but we get rid of them if we want.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like we have the ability to change what we want and tweak it to where we want it to be. But I mean, like you can put in the work and go through vocal training because you don't like your voice and it makes you dysphoric. But if you like your voice and you're worried that like it's because of your voice that's stopping you from discovering your gender, you know, that's just a hurdle for you to overcome with time. You know, developing a comfortability and allowing yourself to hear what other queer people say. Because I promise you, if you talk to like 99% of queer people who aren't stuck in that weird fucking bubble, they're going to tell you like, oh, we don't care. Like,
Yeah.
your voice is not the driving force. And I understand that, like, if you have a lot of internet friends, you have a very large online presence, you know, your voice is the one thing that describes you to other people. But at the same time, I think most queer people don't immediately assume and will stop to be like, and will stop to ask you what your pronouns are. Ask to stop you, like, what your comfort level is, what your comfort zone is. And, like, you know, there is a desire deep down for you to find where you are, and I totally get that because we're all on that journey together, you know. But also allow yourself to understand that there might be a potential that you don't.
Yeah.
You know, and that you stop at like, well, I feel genderqueer, or I feel agender, or you know, something like that. You know.
Let me.
But your voice. You know, that's just something that will get figured out with time. I was there too at one point.
Yeah, exactly. I want to catch up on the chat. Some people have said some very touching things here. Puff saying, my voice is whatever, and I don't train, but I am what I am, regardless. This ain't cyberpunk. Your voice doesn't determine shit. Precisely. Casey saying, I fucking love my deep voice and haven't really ever tried voice training. Streaming was a big part of getting comfy with my voice over the last 15 years. Groot saying, my voice is not likely to get any deeper without training, but my dad and uncles have high voices anyway, so, like, who care?
True.
Who cares?
Yeah. Ethan saying, I used to be so ashamed of my voice. Now you're not. Yeah. Alpha, welcome in, Alpha, saying, I remember my dad once said, bi people need to pick a side. I told him, picking a relationship doesn't mean you're not attracted to other people still, and he was actually receptive and went, oh, I didn't think of it like that. Good ending on that one. Good ending on that one.
Of course, because a lot of my dad was the same way too, where he was like, "Oh, I didn't think about that." And I'm like, "Of course you didn't, because you're straight."
Yeah, precisely.
All you had to do was just talk to somebody, and then you're like, "Oh,
it's
that."
It's astonishing how easy it is to like blow apart someone's worldview when they hear like another perspective and they never think about it. It's like. And that's not saying you have to go out and debate people and change their worldviews or anything. That is not your responsibility. You're never responsible to change for changing someone else's mind. But if it's someone you care about like a lot, you know, bring it up with them, and like you might change things a bit.
Mm-hmm. Like and sometimes like I'm okay with like, I mean, I'm okay with like relaxing my voice a little bit, because sometimes like talking at the higher pitch that I normally do, it can get like pretty exhausting on the throat.
Yes.
And eventually, you know, it's like I've actually developed more of a comfort with my, I guess you could say, my quote unquote original voice, but most of the time I fall back on this voice because it's what I'm comfortable with.
Yeah. Sheburger brings something up that like actually I experienced. Watching all y'all stream and not care about your voice gives me confidence. As it should. Yeah, as Ethan said, as it should.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I, you know, starting out, like, I thought that, like, oh, do I need to voice train or something like that? And, like,
no.
Being around other queer people, being around other trans people, it's like, you realize it's just like, oh, no, that's not, you know, I don't think, like, oh, that's a whatever, I'm just like, no, that's my friend. That's what they sound like.
And I mean, like, because the thing is, you have to understand it, like, how your gender works. Really, like, I know I say this a lot, I sound like a broken record, but compartmentalize the issues you're having. You know, and this will work in every panel of life. This is extremely translatable, and this is how I've made it to 31 years old. Mm-hmm. Okay? Is you compartmentalize the issues, right? Because therapy taught me this. Compartmentalize it. Really look at create bullet points if you want to. You know, really write it down and be like, well, these are the things that I'm uncertain about. These are the things I don't like. These are the things I do like right now as I'm writing this. And ask yourself, is my voice something I want to change? Is that something that really brings out my dysphoria? And not because of what other people are saying, but because I personally am saying to myself, I don't like this. Then change it. Because that is how every transgender transition has worked. You know, you can take HRT, but that doesn't mean you need to get bottom surgery.
Yep.
You know, you can be trans femme and not even be on HRT, and nobody fucking cares because that's what you want. That's your comfort level. I shouldn't have to go on HRT because, you know, because, oh, some asshole thinks I'm less of a trans person because I'm not on HRT. Because that is a transmed bullshit fucking line of thinking that doesn't work. It's antiquated. And if anything, it just shows a kind of elitism that, like, is embedded in a lot of trauma and is embedded in a lot of tragedy because, you know, think about all the people that came before us that have allowed us to live this way. Sure. You know, and how hard it is to get HRT, how difficult it is to be an openly transgender person in just about any country. Like, I totally get that you would sit there and be mad and be upset because you went through so much and other people in your community aren't doing it and you feel like you can't relate to that. Sure. You know, I try to understand it from both sides of the fence, but at the same time, we naturally cannot be doing that. We cannot be telling people, you know, because if anything, you might notice that there are some trans people who went on HRT because they thought that that's what they had to do, and then they detransitioned because they realized, I don't want to do that, but I still want to be trans femme.
Yeah.
Or I still want to have this or that. You know, I want to be this, but I want to keep this because it doesn't make me dysphoric. I actually love it and I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah. I want to say something that was a point I wanted to make, like, at the outset, like, of this. And that's, like, because you brought up, like, the notion of voice training. Voice training is optional. Same with HRT and everything. It is optional. Okay? And the fact that there are some people who feel like that they have to do it, and the fact that there are some people who also think that they have to take HRT or anything like that, breaks my fucking heart. It breaks my fucking heart because all that's going to do is just make them more miserable if they can't get it. Or it's just like, or it makes them uncomfortable, you know, with, like, the changes their body, like, goes through. Because those changes are fucking scary. You legitimately, I put off getting, like, starting HRT when I had the opportunity to for, like, close to 2 years. Close to 2 years, where I was just like, I want to go on HRT. And I just kept, like, okay, I should contact Planned Parenthood. I should do this.
Yeah.
And I kept putting it off. And I kept putting it off because I was fucking scared of it.
And what did I say the other night where I said, because I feel like this does still play into what we're talking about. What did I say the other night where people, even queer people, are so afraid of offending somebody? And I totally get that, but it is okay to make mistakes. It's okay to, you know, fuck up and be like, oh, I used the wrong pronouns. I said the wrong thing, you know, and it made them feel dysphoric. Like, sometimes we don't even know what makes us dysphoric until it happens, and it sucks. But it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fuck up and say the wrong thing and just accept and just be like, I'm sorry. Won't happen again. It's so, like, people are so afraid of, oh, I'm going to get canceled or I'm going to offend somebody.
Listen.
And if you do offend somebody, it's okay. It's okay. I know it's not great to be offended. I'm not saying that, like, oh, it's okay and don't worry. And, like, if you don't worry if you offend somebody, you know, like, completely and utterly. But also don't worry, because as long as you are a decent human being who accepts fault and takes accountability for doing it, it's fine. Because most people are just like, oh, I'm receptive to the fact that you heard my plight and apologized.
Yeah.
It's so easy not to get canceled.
It's so fucking
easy.
If you're just a decent person that's like, I fucked up.
Yes.
That's my bad.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I've misgendered myself and other people, and I'm still here. Jesus
It's very
Christ.
easy. It's very easy also, by the way, for people who
Shut up, Fixie. Not now.
I will also say, from personal experience, it's very easy to misgender yourself if you're masking as well.
Yeah.
So give yourself a little bit of credit. Like, it's so easy to misgender yourself or find yourself in a, oop, I made myself dysport kind of situation.
Yep.
When you're literally code switching between like a job and home.
Yeah.
Because I do it. I mask at work. Granted, I'm at a job where I feel like I could consider coming out.
But that's that's to your level of comfort. Like when you.
But that's up to
it.
me. That's up to me to make that decision.
Yep. Intent and openness to change and admit when you're wrong is the most important thing. Absolutely, Bucky. Welcome in. Glad you're here. Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah, Groot has a good point as well. Your anger is understandable, but it has to be directed towards the actual root, which is not your trans siblings. Very fucking true.
let's lift each other up, because if you're gonna be that kind of transmed turfy bitch, that's like, well, I went through this and you didn't, so I'm more of a trans person than you are. All you're doing is kicking people out the door.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's
working with you.
And I don't know if that's really what you want. I don't know if that's really what you want, because while you might be pissed off and you're just like shooing people away, if anything, you're making somebody bitter, and they're going to take it out on somebody else in the queer community, and they're going to be like, they're not going to be on the same level as you, where like you're telling people, well, you're less of a trans person because you didn't do this and that. But now you're going to make somebody who's like, I can't stand these kind of fucking people, because they're all like, then people start generalizing, and then people start, becoming an enemy because of the way you acted to somebody when it was really unnecessary. And you're going to realize how much that hurts, because you're like, oh, this was somebody in my community that I pushed away. No fucking shit.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I want to read this message from friend from a little bit ago about voices. I've gotten comfortable with where my voice is. At this point, the only reason I want to do any voice training because I want to increase my range and just do more femme voice for the fun, or the same way I can already drop it for jokes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, do it because you want to, not because you feel like you have to. And that is.
Oh, I love that you're on the same train of thought as me, by the way, where you can just drop your voice down to how it originally sounded to fuck with people.
Ugh. Yeah. Yes.
But here's the thing: is that I'm perfectly comfortable with this voice. I don't even call it my cis voice anymore as a joke.
Yeah.
I just love sometimes when people hear my voice and then they're like, "Oh, that's what you really sound like."
Mm-hmm.
Cow's right.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, Cow is right. Gender should be fun. Like, we should enjoy ourselves. Very much.
Exactly.
So.
Straight cis people would want us to be suffering with our gender.
They want us to kill each other. Come on.
Exactly.
They want us to be suffering and sad about our gender so bad.
Yeah, and you know what?
So that's why
fucking do it yourselves, people. Kill me yourself, assholes. Sorry, Vixie.
Somebody will literally come by and be like, you can't use faith here as your pronouns. That's not real. And then you go, and they shit
what if
your
I
pants
told you
and
that
walk
gender
away.
is not
It doesn't
real?
matter.
Yeah.
Fuck them. You're having a great time. You got shit in your pants. You got great pronouns. You're having a good time. What are they gonna do?
Yeah.
Besides throw you out the amusement park.
Yeah. Oh, god damn it. Yeah. Burley, welcome in. Burley saying, "Meet me in the pit." Yeah, exactly.
I'm finna be in the pit.
Yeah. Sabrina saying, it's like clothes. Why would you wear clothes you don't want to wear if you don't have to? Precisely. Yeah. Also, Dawn saying, so true, Vicky. Vicky. You know, both work. We're just a bunch of colorful birds that mimic and goof with our voices to find other silly birds. Yeah. Precisely, Bucky. Precisely.
Nari ASMR
and we
win.
wear funny clothes and dance around to get people to mate with us, just like in real life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nyari ASMR when you don't want that.
No.
I promise you, the second I do ASMR, I'm doing like the stupidest. I've given this some serious thought about buying a 3DO.
Oh my god.
And doing ASMR, but doing like jokey, stupid ASMR, like anti-ASMR.
ASMR, you're ringing up groceries at the corner store. Actually, that sounds really good. Do that.
No, actually, my greatest idea of anti-ASMR I've ever had was a POV. You're in the room with your gamer GF and they're not paying attention to you, and you just hear like very muffled gaming sounds through the sound leak of the headphones, and you hear like the occasional like there's no talking, it's just occasional like typing, and then just
occasionally you just hear fuck. Okay.
So the pecan son experience is what you're saying.
You said it, not me.
Yeah, we were all thinking it.
I didn't say that shit.
Oh my god. I'm sorry,
Damn.
Pecan. I'm sorry, Pecan. I don't know if you're watching. Oh my god. Hi, Amiga.
But see, that's why like I'm comfortable with my other voice, my more relaxed voice, is because whenever I do it, like, yeah, there's people who go, ooh, because they're like, are you going to be okay? Like, I don't want you getting dysphoric, which is fine because I don't anymore.
Yeah.
But I also do it, and then people are like, oh my God, why don't you talk like that more often? And then I'm like, oh. You know, I put like my hand on my chest, I'm clutching my pearls a little bit. I'm like, oh, you like that?
I feel, yeah. It's like everybody forgot that like everyone flipped shit over Dr. Girlfriend's voice.
Thank God for Dr. Girlfriend.
I'm just like,
Thank God
okay,
for
maybe I might talk like this more often. Oh my God.
My car exploded. God. Oh my God. I'd love to see
Keeps happening.
God. Okay, I think we've
That's
answered.
kind of the point of the game.
Yeah, we have answered this question very extensively. I'm gonna pull up the next one here. Let me bring that out. Okay, next question here. This one, yeah, it's another tough one here. Are you ready? You ready for it?
Yep.
Happy Pride Gender Council. Do you have advice for a traumatized gay that has a hard time expressing their needs to a partner without feeling bad? Oh, that
If
is
you figure that out, let me know.
Yes.
Oh, no.
So
Oh, no.
I'll wait for the question to get popped up on screen
yeah,
here, so I
I'm
can
gonna-
really like look at it and read it and make sure I'm getting the right train of thought here. So give me a
right now. Here we go.
Okay, Happy Pride Gender Council. Do you have advice for a traumatized gay that has a hard time expressing their needs to a partner without feeling bad? Why, yes, I do.
Please,
but
go
this
ahead.
also kind of depends on what needs we're talking about, right? Because there are different categorical needs, right? Like, what kind of needs do you have for sex? What kind of needs do you have for romance? You know, those can be different. They're not intrinsically linked. So this is a bit of a loaded question.
Yeah.
Already out of the gate. But let's generalize a little bit, and let's just say like, okay, like needs in general.
I think. Oh, please, you first. Sorry. I don't want to.
No. Go ahead. I want to clarify the needs before I start being like, this is what maybe you should consider. When you're asking for needs.
I'm thinking about like the root of this. Okay, the root of this and where it comes from. And here's what I want to say with this. You are allowed to ask for things. And like that is a very general thing, and I'm telling you right now, you are allowed to ask for things. You are allowed to ask for things that you need. You are allowed to ask things from your partner, and your partner should listen to you for those things. Because hey, they're your partner. They're likely going to listen to you. That's why they're your partner. They care about you enough to be your partner that they're going to listen to you, okay? Like this is once again, this is that little fucking demon in your fucking head like doing this to you and like psyching you out, okay? You are allowed to ask for things. It's fine. Okay?
Yeah.
And yeah, Groot is a good point. You got to repeat shit to yourself in the mirror until it sticks. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to ask for things. You deserve these things. Yeah, and Squid is a good point. If they're denying you these sorts of things, dump them. Dump them, okay?
Yeah. I've talked about
Your
this.
partner
I've
is your
talked
friend,
about
your enemy.
It's crazy to think that 10 years ago, in like 2015, 2016, I was starting to have thoughts of being of the transgender.
Yeah.
And I was dating somebody who, you know, we're all on Tumblr. So, we're starting to learn about these things. We're starting to learn about, sexuality and orientation and things.
Yeah.
And I'm learning about it, and I'm being like, yeah, I never really felt like mask. I never felt like, any of that way. I felt like I'm on the opposite side, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember asking my partner, like, if I were to ever come out as trans or non-binary, would you still love me? And I got an emphatic no.
I remember this story. This story breaks my fucking heart.
And for the next, I want to say 4 years, I just kind of pushed that down and didn't acknowledge it until just about pre-COVID. I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm this. I'm something else, So, that's the extreme case, right? And I totally get being traumatized from that, and now you have difficulty asking people for things. But if for whatever reason, maybe I was asking for too much specificity, because sometimes you say something and then, oh, well, that doesn't actually apply. But generalizing it and looking at it at the root, it's your partner. Your partner is supposed to listen to you and understand your needs and accommodate them. And if they're not doing that, you just have to give it a shot. You have to overcome that fear, establish your needs, talk about it. And if it gets to a point where you're like, I really don't feel like this partner is accommodating me for my basic necessities, they got to go.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. All you are smart. Yeah. I know that you're it's not like you're going to when we say ask for needs, I know you mean it just it's you're not going to be unreasonable with your partner. And when we say dump them, you're just if a person's hurting you, they shouldn't be your partner. Just putting that out there, okay?
If your partner's not supporting you, they're not a partner.
Yeah. A lot of people expressing sympathy for that situation with you and Yari. What happened to you? Bucky saying, learning how to not apologize for your ask is a huge step too. Removing I'm sorry from a request is a great way to self-validate your needs and get confidence. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. You should not be sorry for existing.
You should also not say sorry for asking for help. I think this is translatable in everything, not just gender, but I'm I've had to tell myself, because I've had financial issues. The bitch, I just moved to LA.
Yep.
And it was hard finding a job at first. And even now I'm still trying to get used to the routine and trying to figure out oh shit, rent's this much. Cause I've never, in my 31 years of life, fun fact, I've never had to pay for rent. I've always paid internet or electricity or my phone bill, but I've never had to just dump $800 a month on rent.
Yeah.
So that's even something I'm still getting used to. And I know people have such problems. It's still translatable. If you have problems asking for money, you'll be like, I'm sorry, I'm struggling, or it's, I'm sorry, I just can't afford this thing. Or I'm sorry, I should be better with my finances. It's shit happens. And it's okay to just not say you're sorry when you need something, when you need help.
Yeah.
You don't have to justify it. You can just say I'm having a really hard time with this thing. I need help.
Uh-huh.
And it's not a matter of I'm sorry, because if somebody's willing to take time out of their day to help you, you don't have to apologize to them because they've already submitted to the plan and they're there to help you.
If they, also the big thing here with this, with me also is don't, I'm going to put it bluntly. Don't insult your partner by assuming they hate you.
Yeah. That's your trauma speaking.
That is the biggest thing here. Think, if you won't do it for yourself, do it for your partner. Imagine how they must feel if they think it's I remember seeing a post a while ago. It was someone that said that oh, I just assume that when I'm not around, you just forget about me, or something like that. And their partner said, I really don't like that. Why do you think about me like that? And the light bulb turned on for them. Because it's you are treating your partner with like the level of like delicateness that you treat people who are your enemy.
You're
That's not
doubting
your
them.
enemy.
And
You're
you don't have
doubting
to
them.
doubt them.
You don't trust them. You don't trust them, and it's
You're doubting them justifiably because you're looking at the root and you're thinking to yourself, well, these people have done this to me. Like, these people have lied to me, and these people have given me trust issues, and these people have like hurt me. So you're naturally predisposed to react with a sort of, I just don't want this person to hate me because I'm doing something that somebody else before hated, you know? But it's like
do not assume.
You have to ask. You have to ask for help. Like, they're there to help you. And if they lash out and respond in a way that isn't helping or healthy, I mean, I hate to sound like a broken record, but dump them.
Yeah.
You know, and that's never fun. But you know, you have to find some kind of justification when you're dealing with the guilt, when you're dealing with the post-breakup, you know, to be like, I did the right thing. I dumped somebody because they weren't there to help. You know, you as a partner, you're willing to help them and you're willing to get them through their hard times, but they're not willing to do the same for you. They ask questions. They're condescending. They're arguing with you over something that you need. That's not a partner. Partners, people get so quick to enter relationships because they think that relationships are black and white, that relationships are always preset and predisposed, that relationships always work this way. But they don't realize the hard work that goes into a relationship. They don't realize that, like, if you're willing to enter unity with somebody, that means unity. That means you make compromises. That means you ask questions. That means you stop and you accommodate.
Yeah.
Because it should never be about yourself unless it's like, I'm really struggling and I need help now. But at the same time, if you're willing to do that for somebody, you need to understand that you have to do it for them too. This is not easy. It's hard work. You make mistakes, you fuck up. And just when you do fuck up, when you do make a fucking mistake, quit beating yourself up about it. Take responsibility for it. Apologize. Work on it. Yeah. It's not going to happen over fucking night. But I'm really like, I get mad at myself when I make a mistake and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And you beat yourself up about it. But as long as you're just like, because people also worry, like, what if I don't show enough accountability? Like, will they think that I'm not taking this seriously? When really it's just as simple as, I made a mistake. I fucked up. I'm sorry. Let me work on this. You know, like, you are not going to be perfect. And I hate people who enter relationships thinking that you can be, that you will be, that you won't make mistakes, and that you won't, you know, like, they're just so worried that, like, one small slip up and that's all it takes. The whole thing falls apart. When that is emphatically and demonstrably untrue.
If one little thing happens that causes your partner to hate you, that's not a partner. That's someone who hates you. Just straight up.
That is somebody who, and I need you to understand this, that is somebody who is not in the relationship for you.
Yeah.
They are in the relationship for what you can give them. And that is, frankly and emphatically, not the description of a relationship.
Ethan has a good point.
Like, if you wanted that, get a fuck buddy.
Yeah. Ethan has a good point. Relationship is teamwork. Yep. It's a team effort. I think that's one of the most beautiful parts of a relationship is, like, how asymmetrical it can seem at times, but at the end it's like it all evens out, you know? Sometimes
and, like,
there'll be a period where, like, there will be multiple instances where, like, you need help, like, from your partner, like, extensively.
Yeah.
You know, and then, like, you know, later on, you know, your partner needs help from you and you can reciprocate. It will happen. Yeah. It all comes out in the wash.
This happens too in some relationships where a lot is going wrong. Where it just feels like you can't catch a break and you're worried that your partner is going to hate you because you just, like, shit's not together right now. And you're worried that, like, oh my God, I just don't have my shit together. And, like, I thought being in a relationship, like, both of you have to be, you know, put in a good place. And, you know, and that's just not true. You should not stop yourself from love just because you feel like you're just not all there. Like a good partner will help you get out of there. And like I've seen this happen in a lot of relationships where it's like, oh, this just keeps happening and I'm really sorry because I'm always like this, or something's always happening. And it's like, it's okay. We will get through it, because there has to be a possibility that you won't always feel like this and you won't always need the help. You know, but know that if the help is needed, it is always there. Like, in my honest opinion, hey, like, I know we're kind of veering off into like relationship stuff, but this is I feel like, you know, this is important. You know, train of thought went away because I wanted to justify what I was talking about. But you know, I'll think about it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to be like, Dixie, do you have thoughts here to add in? I just want to make sure that you have a chance to get in here.
Not particularly.
Okay.
This is something I'm still working on myself. So.
And that's fine. You know, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. You'll always be working on it. Like, you could be in your 30s and 40s and figuring out gender. Like, you're always going to figure something out. And even if it's not gender or relationships, you're like, I'm still figuring out what kind of career I want. I'm figuring out, you know, where do I want to settle down? What do I want to do with my life? You know, it's all translatable. Yeah. But what I wanted to get to was, I think people need to start, and this is a bit of a hot take maybe, but I think people need to start really thinking about relationships in the sense that have a general baseline for what is unacceptable. Mm-hmm. You know, I think people get a little too nitpicky with like, this is a deal breaker. Like, especially with like, you know, my neck of the woods, you know, hanging out with a lot of, you know, girls and women and like, you know, cis especially. Like, most of my friends and my best friends, like, I was enveloped in that world. And people get a little nitpicky. They're like, I don't like when a guy does this. I don't like when a guy does that. And I'm like, why not just tell them? And then maybe they'll listen and, you know, look at it and be like, oh, you know, maybe that's got to go.
People just assume that like people will never change like for them or something. And it's like, if you feel that way about your partner, something's up.
I'm too scared. I'm too scared to tell my partner. It's like, that sounds like a problem.
That's a fucking problem.
That sounds like a bigger problem if you're too scared to tell somebody.
Yeah.
That.
God. Yeah. I want to go back there. We have some good chats here. I want to read through here, if I may.
Please.
Bucky's saying we're so conditioned to have guilt for things we don't control but suffer from at an individual level. That's real. Puff, on the point you were making just now, Nyari, no, he said it earlier, you shouldn't feel afraid of your partner. If you do, take a second to examine why and what you can do. Yeah. And Groot saying if the relationship is worth it, talking with your partner, even when you disagree, will make you feel better about the relationship. Yeah. The Sabrina saying that, and this person is interested in me. I need to enter a relationship with them or I won't find someone else. Yeah, that's, once again, that's the demon talking.
I have to say, like, my wonderful partner right now, Odd, and we waited a long time to get into a relationship because we were worried. Mm-hmm. Because we were deeply concerned about, well, what if it doesn't work out? And it's like, we can't stop ourselves just because we're worried. You know, and then eventually it just worked out. The stars aligned, and here we are over 2 years into a relationship.
Yeah. It's like, what's the worst that can happen? Well, you can break up. Okay. Is that the end of the world?
But let me go back, because I want to wrap up my train of thought, and then we can move on to the next question. I think people need to start looking at relationships and having a good general baseline of what is actually a deal breaker. Oh, your boyfriend leaves the fucking toilet seat up. Work on it. It's in the grand scheme of things, it is unequivocally unimportant. It is not paramount to your relationship that your boyfriend leaves their toothbrush on the fucking counter instead of the cup, or they put the toilet seat up, or they suck at cooking, or some other bullshit you've contrived in your head to justify, you know, what you want out of a relationship. When, let me tell you what's really important in a relationship. loyalty and faith.
And getting someone who will flush the toilet.
They break true. They break those. If they break those, that is a deal breaker.
Yep.
That's a deal breaker. They don't listen to you. They don't accommodate your needs. They're fucking around with other people. All this other stuff. Like, that is fundamentally what we should care about in a relationship. So don't be afraid to ask your partner for help. Or if you have a need and you want your partner to accommodate you. And at the end of the day, if they're not willing to do that and they give you way too much pushback, that's not somebody that you should be in a relationship with, and you're not going to lose anything by exiting from it.
It's like, it's not about the fact that they leave the toilet seat up. It's the fact that they don't care enough to put it down when you ask them to. That's the problem. That's the problem. You know, it's not the act. It's the fact that they express zero interest in your feelings regarding it. Even if it's a minor thing, because it's like, if they won't do this minor thing for you, who's to say what they'll do when something is actually wrong? Like, showing that flexibility and caring about your partner is so important. And they won't do it for the small stuff. Why would they do it for the big stuff?
Yeah.
Straight up. Like, straight up.
Y'all, some of y'all watch way too many TV shows, way too many movies, and way too much anime where you think, like, you have to be in a relationship within a year of developing feelings for somebody, you know? People are just way too quick, you know, to pull the trigger when it's like, these things take time. These things really take time. And, like, if it works out that, you know, in just a few months or maybe a year, you guys end up being in a relationship, then great. Glad it worked out that way. But there is no quota. There is no deadline. There's nothing on love. You just got to let it cook. It will be there for you. I promise there are 8 billion fucking people on this fucking planet. You will find somebody if you really want to. But let it fucking happen. It's organic, dude.
All right. I want to get to the next question, but there is
Let's
one.
get to the next.
I do want to see. I do want to see here. Groot, very good message here. Read a definition of love that was like desire to put in the work to help someone else grow, and that's a good litmus test for if the relationship is worth it. And I agree with that. Absolutely agree with that. Also, hello Cormano and hello Rennie. Welcome in, folks. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right.
Next question.
Before we do the next question, actually, I would like to take a break because I need to use the bathroom. Actually, so I'm gonna go. We're gonna go on BRB, and then when we come back, we will have the next question and discuss more of this. This is good. It's intense, but it's good. Like it's here. Yep. All right. We'll be right back, folks.
Gimme. Oh shit.
Hello, folks. Hello, guests.
Do you want to mute again and then unmute again?
Yeah. Hold on. Hello. I want to catch up on the chat here with this because we had some. Man, like. Yeah. Hey. Rennie had a really sweet message here. They said, "Always love listening to y'all answer questions. It's very mind-opening and like insightful, and I think makes one feel seen / not alone / not crazy for feeling a certain way, even if it isn't one's question. So thank y'all. Yeah, that is my biggest goal with these streams, with stuff like this, is because like, you know, sometimes you don't even think about stuff until someone else says it. Like,
there's a reason why it's called Happy Pride, because you're happy and proud.
Yeah, exactly. Ah, man.
Oh.
Yeah, very good there. All right. So, I want to ask a question here right now to you two for the next one. Ready?
Yep.
Pride 2025. Wiener accessories. Yes or no?
I have bad news.
Yeah.
We are still on the back zoo screen.
No, that's why I'm asking it here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, that's it. Yeah.
All right, then ask it again. I was distracted.
Yeah. Pride 2025. Wiener accessories. Yes or no?
Well, I mean, that kind of.
Yari?
Oh, God. Yari. God, it got winked out of existence. Oh, no.
I know she didn't mean to do that, but that would have been really funny if she did.
It really would have, yeah. Nyari, hello. Hi.
Bro, I'm gonna fucking lose it. Spectrum can suck me from the fucking back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
It was.
Oh,
listen,
I'm gonna come down Spectrum's throat so fucking hard. I hope it punctures their lungs.
Jesus Christ.
Happy Pride, everybody.
Happy fucking Pride.
Happy
anyway,
Pride,
what I was saying, wiener accessories. I mean,
Yes
it really
or no?
depends. I know a lot of people don't like ketchup on them, but personally, I'm a big fan of ketchup, mustard, like a little bit of relish, some onions.
That's true. I am.
Chili and cheese is like the best wiener accessory.
I think so.
I'm just a cheese and like some mustard kind of girl, you know.
You know, and that's fine.
Yeah. I listen. I want to say, like, you know, sometimes I like, you know, a brown mustard on a hot dog.
I love brown mustard.
Yeah. Sometimes though, I'll just have like just a hot dog just by itself. I'll eat a plain hot dog. I don't care. I like them. Girl,
you're crazy.
Sometimes
I like cream cheese and grilled onion. Look, cream cheese on a hot dog goes hard.
I had never even considered that, actually.
No, it goes hard. It's real.
No, fuck. I want
sauerkraut.
No, I am not about sauerkraut. I am not about sauerkraut.
You lost me, Code Blue. You lost me. But power to you.
Yeah, no, that's not it for me.
A Sonoran hot dog, the fucking hot dogs in Arizona. Oh.
Yeah. Fermented fucks. Oh god. Keeping a shrimp plain, have a little bit of ketchup for dipping. You dip the hot dog. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Oh, you're like that dude on TikTok who used to like dump his entire hand into a vat of ketchup, and then it would turn around and he's covered in ketchup. Be like, damn, that shit bussin'.
Oh god, terrible.
Ew. Who brought the mayo?
Yeah.
That reminds me of a video I saw where it was like some guy working at Starbucks and he was cleaning out like the chocolate sauce dispenser. It's just all over his hand. He's like, that machine is live. That ass can fart.
I've done that too.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up. I fucking hate.
Okay, when I was on dish duty at Starbucks, you have to clean out the mocha. The little mocha thing. And sometimes I just be there and like I have to push it down to get the rest of like what's left in the tube. And sometimes when I'm doing dishes, I would just be like,
do pretzel buns count? Yeah. Do pretzel buns count as an accessory? Asks
yes.
Serena.
If the wiener is in the bun, then therefore it is an accessory of the wiener.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, precisely.
It's like a skirt.
Yeah. All right. But anyway, how do we feel about Prince Albert's here?
I think more.
Bro, we're talking about wieners.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
Can we talk about Dick though?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Dick?
Right.
All right.
Yeah, I do want to talk about Dick because I do want to say, I think we need more cock cleavage. I think that should be.
Here's a good.
When you
Oh,
when
see
you just,
veins?
No, when you just see the root.
Yeah, we see the root, like in that Leon
Yeah,
S.
like-
Kennedy gif I love
Yeah,
to share with
exactly.
you guys.
I think that's the future. We need more of that.
And more root, yeah. The One Piece is real.
Show low root in 2025. That's right.
That's right. I would say out of all the wiener accessories in the world, I think more people with wieners need to have womb tattoos.
Sheberg saying more gray sweatpants. Yeah, you know what? I can get behind that. Yeah. More gray sweatpants.
All right. You drive a hard bargain.
Yeah, it's so true, so true. Okay, we have answered this one very well. All right, next question. Next question for us here.
Hard question.
Let's
Kasama
see
been here since both of our daddies been here.
This one, this one starts with, don't really have much of a question, as I've found a lot of peace with myself over the years. Just want to send some love to those of us out there with the wild gender vibes, especially the Therian oomfies. Do what you want, and I love y'all.
Ethan.
And fuck the societal pressure to fit within neat little boxes. We've been kind of bringing that energy here today, I feel.
I try.
What is it with the Therians and having like wild gender?
What could it be?
They've already kind of like stepped out of like the box.
Well, I mean, they are Therians, so they're already wild. I get that.
Yeah. They've already stepped out of the box like with it, so it's just like, why would they restrict themselves now?
Ethan's like, hey, what? And I'm like, dog.
Sorry, I'm a
you
dog.
Have wild gender.
Yeah.
You have wild gender. Therian.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay, next question is just how?
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 So once upon a time, your parents fell in love.
Sure they did.
You sure about that?
Did they though? Yeah, good question, Bob.
I don't know.
Also,
My
I
parents are
would like
different.
to point out what Ethan said with all caps. I didn't hear the Therian part. I was thinking about wieners still.
I know.
We know, Ethan.
Honestly,
Never
I
change.
get it.
Never change, Ethan. Never
No?
change.
I get it.
So
Yeah.
how, right? Bit of a loaded question here, but I'll do my best to answer. Well, you got to start with like sitting on your left hand till the point that it gets numb.
Okay, all right, I'm cutting you off. Never going to the
Let's
next
get
question. So this next one here, actual hard question here. Sorry, my last question got cut off. How do you get back into relationships after socially transitioning? I want to date, but making the first move and playing the dominant role feels masculine. I guess, how do you throw that thought out of your head?
I'm femdom. Do your research.
Okay.
Do your research.
I have put.
You think the dominant role is masculine? Boy, do I got some fucking homework. You're gonna learn today.
Oh man.
Oh no!
Welcome to the real world. You're gonna learn today. All right,
Yeah.
motherfucker. You're talking. All right, you are talking.
Ethan, please read Ethan's
You are
message.
talking.
Yeah, brother.
What?
Get that strap.
baby. All right, I'm gonna say this right now, as somebody who is a switch but leans more dominant. I tend to be in more of a dominant position in my sex life.
Uh-huh.
But like, ain't nothing wrong with being dominant. Nothing wrong with making the first move.
Yep.
Like the thing is right. You've socially transitioned, but have you transitioned in terms of how you like to approach certain subjects?
Yeah.
You know, like
You have to.
do you have to? Because I'm not gonna lie, if like, let me just put out a hypothetical, right? Let's say a woman comes up to you and makes the first move. You're going to be like, wow, could you put that cigarette out on me? You know?
Yeah.
You're going to be like, oh my God, wow. You're going to kind of tuck your hair behind your ear like, oh my God.
Cormano has a good thing here. Power dynamics is not gender relevant. Yeah,
It's not. It's not.
it's not. It's
not.
absolutely fucking not. Yeah.
Which is why you need to read more
want it to be,
femdom.
in which
Yeah.
case you keep that between yourselves.
Yeah. Also, Puff saying if being masculine makes you a dom, then why Puff? I get it. You know.
Yeah.
Unless you.
You can't see it, but I am nodding. I am
Yeah.
nodding.
Yeah. Oh God, how'd I get into a first? There we go. Oh, it was weird.
But the other question is, I guess, how do you throw that thought out of your head? The things you do are not tied to your gender.
They're not. Nope.
You got to just tell yourself, like, girl, you make the first move. You made the first move. Just own it. You know, that's again. I don't want to say this to be and enact any kind of dysphoria, but let's just say, you know, that's we're gonna come back to this. This is cis boy thinking. This is boy thinking, where we think that, like, being the dominant person who makes the first move is inherently masculine. And, you know, going through high school and being like, well, I really like this guy, but I'm waiting for him to make the first move. Man, shut the fuck up. You make the first move. Oh, well, he has to be the one to propose. Man, shut the fuck up.
Shut the
You do
fuck
it.
up.
Shut up.
Shut up. God.
You know, you just have to understand, like, at the root of it, like, it's not tied to your gender. Make the
not.
first move. Get out there.
Yeah, come on.
And if anything, people are going to be like, oh, they're going to tuck their hair behind their ear and be like, oh my God. So forward.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi, Ellie. Hi, I love you. Hello, I love you.
Oh my God.
Heard that.
That was the loudest Ellie has ever been on microphone. Oh my God.
Really said.
Yeah, Ellie really did. Ellie out here, like, completely blowing apart the idea of gender roles.
True.
My sweet baby Ellie. My gay cat. My lesbian cat.
Ethan asked you a question here. Can we talk about how people need to know the difference between a bottom and a submissive?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why you are a verse switch.
Yeah.
There's a difference. It's the same.
Sheburger, I'm sorry. I have to deny that emote because that's an AI-generated one. That's why it was blocked. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. There's a difference between top and bottom. There's a difference between dominant and submissive.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have terms like power bottom. That's why we have terms like service top.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have
All
terms
right.
like horny but scared.
Yes.
Yes, there is a difference between, like,
No,
for
no,
instance,
no. Sheburger's saying, is it really fucked because of the emote was AI
oh
generated?
yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, it is.
Yeah. Anyway, you were saying though.
But yeah, verse and switch are two different things.
Mm-hmm. People like, I feel like people, especially like straight and cis people, heard these terms and then just decided that, like, oh yeah, no, we can use this to make fun of people, and it's like
They're like, this is a new things we can use to reinforce.
I'm a dominant verse.
yeah. And yes,
Simple as that.
Wolfie,
I'm
it's,
fixing.
it's glad to get shut up. Yeah, Wolfie, it's
Yeah, we know.
glad to have you around. You're one of our favorite grunglers here.
Grunger.
Anyway, Wolfie took a clip of Ellie.
Oh
The
yeah.
world
Let's go.
premiere.
Let's fucking go. Yes.
Groot, yeah, that's it. That's it. Most straight people just want to be using words or really just want to say the F slur.
True.
Yeah.
True.
No, you don't get to
Hey,
say it until
if
we
you're
get
gonna
to say
say-
it on stream.
And if you're gonna say it, it better be funny.
It better be funny. It better be fucking funny.
Mhm.
It better be funny. God. All right, but yeah, like that's the for this question here, pretty much just like it feels masculine. It's just like it's not. Who put that thought in your head? That's the question.
Find
Casey,
them.
Society.
Get them.
Casey, no, you can't. Bucky saying make it count. But yeah, like with this here, just like, you know, playing the dominant role feels masculine. Who told you that? Who told you that?
Kill them.
Yeah. It probably
do
wasn't
they
one
know?
person, but like maybe it was multiple people. Maybe it was a vibe you got
If
from
you want to
people,
be,
you know?
if you want to be dominant and masculine, you can be, but that's because you're masculine and you're dominant, but those are not the same thing.
Precisely. You know?
You're not dominant because you're masculine. You're dominant because you feel comfortable in that role.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You can,
hello, Missy.
you can be a submissive and masculine. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Pegged.
There's so many things. It's just like, you know, what's in pop culture, be like, oh, this is what a man does, you know, sort of thing. That shit like that. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, shut the fuck up all the way. Like,
To
fuck
death.
you. Yeah, shut the fuck up to death. Absolutely. I fucking had it with shit like that.
Oh, bye, Cal. Bye, Casey.
Oh. Yep.
Happy Pride.
I gotta go.
Okay.
Goodbye, Casey. Take care. No, but like, and this applies for like any other like anxieties that people have felt or written in like regarding this. It's like, you know, oh, I feel this way. Why? Who made you feel that way? Are they worth your time? Because 99.9% of the time they're not.
Are they speaking from an antiquated mentality that was imparted onto them as early as the 1800s, where now it seems like men have to be in the power position when they don't?
Yeah.
And they don't. I want more shriveling, wet, pathetic men.
Yeah.
We're waiting for you to make the first move. I want more of that.
Yeah. It's God. Okay. Now I got real mad at that one, honestly. All right.
I mean, understandable.
Yep. All right, next one here. Bit of a long one. I will put in. I want to become weirder with my gender. I truly feel that my gender is best explained as rabbit. I want to make my name related to rabbits too, before I finally cement it legally. However, my family has already had me come out as non-binary, again as binary trans, with name changes both times. The thought of even trying to explain to my family why I want to change my name a third time, and why something not a human name kind of makes me freeze up and get scared of following my weird gender truth. How can I navigate being real to myself when my millennial, not online sister asks why I use it's now too? Help me gender counsel, and then something written in Japanese.
Okay.
I will put this one up on screen because it is it is a long one.
Yeah.
Here.
I'm a visual learner.
Yes, I know this about you.
How I learned about boobs.
Yeah, I know. I understand you.
Hey, send me that?
Yeah,
no.
Okay.
No, you missed your chance last night, Vixie.
You got to get out on the battlefield.
Okay.
You got to be on the front lines.
Yeah. Oh, this covers up Vixie. Hold on, there we go. There we go.
Ah!
No,
You got Mike
fine.
Wachowski.
Yeah, you got Mike Wazowski there for a second.
And it was perfectly just for this one too. Like
Yeah,
if I
yeah,
took the other
exactly.
PNGs.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me read over this. I truly feel that my gender is best explained as rabbit. I want to make my name related to rabbits too. Okay. Or my family has already had me come out once as non-binary, again as binary trans. Name changes both times. The thought of even trying to explain to my family why I want to change my name a third time. Okay, you don't have to explain it to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And why something not a human name kind of makes me freeze up and get scared of following my weird gender truth. Well, you should do it because you want to. And
Yeah,
you don't
you
know
just
anybody
said
any
it's your truth.
justification or explanation.
Yeah.
How can I navigate being real to myself? Do it. When my millennial not online sister asks why I use it's now too, she'll understand. Just do it.
Yeah.
She'll understand. As long as you do it.
Yeah.
But if you're going to stop yourself because you're scared, totally get that.
I would feel like being offline nowadays puts you in a better position to understand queerness.
If anything, the fact that she's offline might actually be in your benefit.
Exactly,
Because
you know?
she's not criminally fucking brain rotted by stupid shit.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
Like, just fucking do it. Speak your truth.
yeah. How do you do it? Well, it's just like I said last question. Who made you feel that way? You know? And does their opinion matter? You know? God.
Like, just do it. Just do it. And if they're just like, why? Because I want to.
Yeah.
Well,
It makes you feel more
it's-
comfortable. You know?
Think
Yes,
about
Vixie.
this.
Yeah.
something I try to think about a lot. Something I think about with a lot of other people is the downtime when you're not around anybody. Are you going to be happy? Because then it's just you looking at yourself.
Yeah.
And you know you didn't go as far as you wanted to.
Uh-huh.
Can you really be okay with that? Maybe you can.
Hmm?
That's okay.
You gotta.
Maybe you can't. That's okay too.
You're gonna be around yourself more than anybody else. Okay.
True.
You should be comfortable.
That's so true.
Yeah. You are gonna be around yourself like. This goes into like something else that I have had to learn myself, which is that when you make the active decision to put yourself first and put your feelings first, it feels really selfish. It's not because of the way we've been conditioned to think about ourselves, but it's not. You know? Like, we are like, we need to put ourselves first because we're always around ourselves. You know?
How the hell are you gonna love anybody else?
Exactly. How are you gonna love anybody else if you don't love yourself? You know? A turn of phrase that I've heard from someone else is you can't run a marathon unless you have shoes. You know? You be nice to yourself here. It's because it'll make everything else better.
A wise man once said, motherfucker's always trying to ice skate uphill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Remember that.
Yeah. Misery saying here, it's hard because of the feeling of being judged, but the thing is, are you happy with who you are? And if you're not, and then you're not, and if you are, then you're not doing anything wrong. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
It's as simple, it's as shrimple as that. Mm-hmm. Commit to your truth, and if they ask why, just tell them, because it's so easy. Like, it immediately ends the conversation the second you say, because I want it.
Yep.
Because I want to.
Also, Amiga said something before here that I think is... no, I'm sorry. Groot said it. My bad. Time has progressed. Time has progressed and I have changed again. This is what I want to be called. There you go. A direct way to handle that. You know? It's... When you figure out that, like, gender is ever-changing and is not an exact thing... then yeah, you are going to change it several times, you know? Yeah.
By the way, the Japanese at the end of the question just says tasukete, which means help.
Yes. A few people have pointed out, and I appreciate everyone who has. Absolutely.
I'm just saying it out loud for the people, if there's anybody watching the VOD or something.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Vixie. Groot saying, if you're American, a chunk of the culture you've absorbed was thought up by freaks who thought seasoning was too indulgent. Don't be afraid to go against the grain. Yep.
Put MSG in your food. Do it, pussy.
Do it, pussy. Yeah.
But more.
People always judge something I learned growing up, and honestly, it's not worth a penny what they think. You're happy. They're not.
Speed.
Yeah.
I have the need for speed. Sorry.
What is this Dracula voice you're doing right now?
That was fucking... What the fuck? That was Boltas.
Oh, yeah. That was Valtteri. Yep. My bad.
I have the need for speed. If anything, Finnish people sound more fucking vampire than dickheads in Romania.
Yeah, that's so right. That's so right, actually. Okay. I think we're gonna, before I start this next race, I'm gonna pull up the next question here.
Penis.
Okay.
Do not pull up penis.
Let me.
Too bad.
I am,
do that like off stream, but don't do it here.
Yeah, I'm actually going to. I'm going to pull the screenshot, put the screenshot on screen first, and then I'm going to read it here. All right.
Okay.
Next one is, I am gender fluid and on T, and generally present femme. I really enjoy dressing a certain kind of femme. At the same time, I consider myself closest to a man and also admire, kind of want to be butch. Do you have suggestions for being and/or attracting butches for me to mirror and befriend? Perhaps kiss?
Get a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Get a motorcycle.
Get a motorcycle.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Right, yeah.
If you
get a leather jacket and a motorcycle.
The fastest way to get butches to be like, ooh, and this is not a stereotype. This is fucking real. Get a motorcycle. I swear to God.
And a leather jacket. The leather jacket is crucial.
But okay, do you have suggestions for being and or attracting butches? Okay, let's tackle the first one, being.
Yeah, can I start this one here, because I've
Yeah, go
had
ahead.
kind of experience with this here. It's just
Go ahead.
a friend of mine, like, you know, because like her and I had like talked a bit about like, you know, like about being butch, like sort of, which is something that, like, even I still like kind of struggle with, like, calling myself, honestly. But like the way that she said, it's just like, look, like for me, I'm doing the exact same shit I was doing before, just she, her now. And I'm like, fuck, it really is like, that's fucking simple, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it really is just like that. It's just like, yeah, you can just be butch. It's fine.
Don't let other people tell you that it needs to be a journey and complicated. It doesn't have to be.
Or that you have to, again, we talked about this earlier, that you have to look a certain way to be butch. You can just be butch. Being butch is like being sapphic. It's a way of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
It's fine.
And so, like, and also, I like to attribute, because here's the thing, like, sometimes I like dressing a little bit more like mask. You know, I don't like wearing skirts and fishnets every day. But it's like, being butch and like also being like femme, but feeling like you're closer to a quote unquote man, you know, the way you present yourself is sort of like, especially as a gender fluid person, the way you present yourself is sort of like styles of clothes. One day I want to dress more goth. One day I want to dress more pastel. One day I want to wear a skirt. One day I want to wear jeans, you know? As a gender fluid person, you have the freedom to, well, be whoever you feel in that moment.
Yeah.
You know? And it's not a fad. It's not a phase. It's not any of that. It's just, you know, this feels like where I want to be right now. Oh, I want to be a bit more butch today. You know, I'm feeling more masculine today, so I'm going to do this, you know? And it's not just in the way you dress. I'm just using that as a correlation. But like, oh, I want to do this today. I want to present myself in this way. Oh, this is the way I feel comfortable, you know? And also, let's just get this out of the way, you know, graduate yourself from the line of thinking that the only people that can wear a certain type of clothing or the way that they present themselves is locked behind a binary.
It's not. It's really
Because
fucking not.
You can be a very effeminate man and you're still a man because that's how you identify.
Uh-huh.
You can be a very masculine femme and you're still femme because that's how you identify.
Yep.
And once we graduate from that binary way of thinking, especially as a gender fluid person, oh my God, like sky's the limit. So just ask yourself, remember in that moment, like, how do I feel today? How do I want to present myself today? Think about the now rather than where you're going to be in a couple of weeks. You know, I know it's confusing and it might drive you nuts, but always live in the now. How do I feel right now?
Yeah. It's something I, you know, first of all, it's like, you're just like, well, how do I be butch? And it's like, okay, how are you defining butch here?
Yeah, exactly.
We goes back to the point we made before. It's just like, who determined this? Who's making you feel bad, and does their opinion matter?
I'm a fucking tomboy, and I hate like that. Like when I first thought about it, like, oh, it feels so good to be a tomboy. Like I like that, but then you know, you kind of think to yourself, like, what is a tomboy? How am I describing a tomboy? And I'm just like, the way I describe being a tomboy is that like I like to be adventurous. I like to be, you know, I like to get my hands dirty, and not just like in a literal sense of like I have to get out and fucking build a house. You know, it's like the way I perceive tomboy is like, I don't know. It might be different from how other people describe tomboy.
I have like there was something I encountered like years ago. It was like a really corny like Facebook like meme, believe it or not. But it said, "I'm a trans tomboy. I'm here for the body, not for the personality." And that kind of spoke to me, honestly, because it's true. You know, like that just like felt. It's just like, oh fuck, yeah, you're right. Yeah. What the fuck?
Because the way I always attribute tomboys has been like personality, not like, oh, well,
Yeah.
you have short hair and you play
Precisely.
sports and all this other stuff. Like tomboy is like being, for me, my ideal of tomboy is I'm femme, but I'm wild, I'm loudmouth, I'm a bit of a partier, you know. I'm always the one trying to drive conversations and you know, be a part of the flow.
Yep.
You know, and that's like, that to me, that's tomboy, is like, you know, and sometimes that does bleed into my clothing. Sometimes that does bleed into how I physically present myself. Because, you know, being a tomboy or even being femme or being butch, you're just like, oh, I like this way of how I do my clothing, how I do my makeup, how I do blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. You know, it bleeds in, but at the end of the day, it's because that's your personality. Like the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you present yourself. Physically, that is all internal, just bleeding outwards. So it's like you don't have to present yourself a certain way so long as you're presenting yourself internally how you want to present yourself.
Yep. The phrase "I'm here for the body,
you
not
wanna
the personality" like really struck me. Like,
So if you really want to like
good one.
attract butches and you DTF on this idea, get a motorcycle, get
Yeah.
a leather jacket. I know we're like kind of playing into like the stereotypical butch here, but if that's something you're down for, I promise you, you're gonna meet a lot of butches.
yep.
It's
Because
sometimes
it's
a
just about the way
stereotype
you
because it
present
works.
yourself. Yeah,
Fixie, what was that?
it's a
Well, sometimes it's a stereotype because it's true.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
there's not every stereotype has to be negative. Also,
Yeah, exactly. The only thing is like the only thing that qualifies something as a stereotype is the assumption part of it. It's like when you assume someone is a certain way, you know, acts a certain way because they are a certain way. That's a stereotype, you know. Just because if you're doing that before like actually seeing them do it or experiencing it, that's stereotyping. You know, it doesn't matter if you were right. That's still stereotyping.
Yeah, and I've got two things to say. Number one, I've met like a super cis straight dude. One of my friends who I shockingly met at a Kinokuniya in Dallas. He's a super straight cis dude, but he likes wearing skirts. He just finds them very comfortable to wear, and he's like, I just don't think about it. I like wearing it. Like, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, see, there you go. Like, people who graduate themselves from that line of thinking that, well, I can't wear this or I can't present myself in this way because it is inherently seen as effeminate or homosexual, or people get, you know, make assumptions. And it's like, just move on from that line of thinking and present yourself how you want to present yourself. And I promise you, the person who ends up being attracted to you will see that. People always perceive that. So even if one person might not think you're butch because of the way you present yourself, there's going to be somebody out there who's like, damn, okay, yeah. And they're gonna swoos on in. Second thing I want to say, stereotypes, like trans women, that they're all hot. Crazy stereotype, I know.
and it's a stereotype. That's true. You can take that to the bank.
You can take that to the bank.
That's real.
What is this flag and why is everybody there hot?
Yeah, I gotta update my set for Pride Month to get a much more prominent trans flag somewhere in here. I should take a photograph of mine so it has like all like the creases from like the package and everything.
You didn't even iron your
flag.
yeah.
Okay, no, you want to talk about stereotypes?
Yeah, no, that's a
Trans women that
stereotype.
don't
Yeah,
iron their fucking trans.
yeah,
flag.
nobody irons their $6 off Amazon trans flag when they hang it up. Okay,
I look to my right,
me
and
included. I
I look
exactly.
to my right and I see the creases of my trans flag, and I'm like, yeah, that's a fucking stereotype and a half.
That's why I put mine near the front door of my apartment so I don't look at it all the fucking time. Okay.
Well, that's okay. My I don't have a trans flag, but I do have tapestries that function the same. But they don't have creases in it because they've been hanging up so long. They just naturally worked out the creases.
Yeah, exactly. The humidity got the creases out of them.
Thank you, humanity. Thank you for doing
yeah,
that so
like-
I don't have to.
But yeah, at the end of the day, like, present yourself how you want to present yourself, regardless of, you know, how you feel. Oh, well, I can't do this because this feels less butch. Like, who you are inside is butch at the end of the day, and that's all that matters. And I promise you there will be somebody down the road who sees that and is going to want to suck your shit crazy style.
Yep.
You're going to have to save up your PTO and call into work one day because they're going to suck the fucking soul out of you. You better be ready.
Yeah, you better be ready.
You better be ready. Oh,
you're fucking done for. You're fucking done for.
I have a
non
non-sedentary job. Yeah, that's really going to suck because everybody's going to see you with your knees clacking together, knocking knobs because your shit got rocked so hard last night.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to be like, well, at least I was honest with myself and I presented myself as the butch I want to be.
Yep.
And somebody was like, yeah, that's hot. You know?
And somebody was like, yeah, you're the butch I want you to be. And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right. Yes.
All right, damn.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, friend saying, speaking of trans femmes being hot, apparently, I've been hit on like 5 times this week. When will cis men leave me alone? Oh, God. Congratulations,
Suffering
friend.
from success.
Yeah, exactly.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I'm sorry that happened. God.
That's a universal experience. Oh boy, misogyny. Oh, misogyny.
Oh, God, yeah. All right. I think we got this one. Like, unless either of you had something to add for this question.
I don't think so. I think that's
nothing but net.
All right, kick ass.
I got catcalled. What was it? Thursday? I think it was Thursday or Friday. I got catcalled on my scooter to work.
Nice.
I was wearing like tight sweatpants. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, people think I joke about my ass. Like, my ass is huge and very supple, and I'm very proud of it. And people comment on it all the time. I was on a scooter. I was on a motorized scooter.
Oh, you got a scooter?
Proof?
Oh, yeah.
No, I ride the Lime ones to work.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because they're fun.
Next question here. I hope it's okay to ask another question on the topic of voices. Yes, it is. I've been trying my hardest to train my voice to be more femme, and while I'm really happy with where I am, I know it's absolutely not great to outside listeners. Like, I'm clocky as hell. I know it makes other people uncomfortable. What's the best way to deal with that? Because my original voice makes me dysphoric as shit, but I know it's safer to use.
Your throat is a muscle.
Yeah.
First of all.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, Vixie, yes, kill them. But we'll get more into that. Yeah.
Rubbing my gay little fucking hands together because this is where I get to talk about voice acting.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
So, your throat is a muscle. Your vocal cords are very delicate. And Adele didn't even realize for years that she was singing wrong. And she was ruining her voice.
Oh my God.
She had sold like 2 or 3 albums before she realized she was singing wrong.
I didn't know
And she was
that.
ruining her voice. Right? Like, you just have to, like, literally go to vocal lessons. And I think, like, actually going to a proper, like, voice acting teacher who can teach you, like, good warm-ups. Because the thing is, you're saying that it's safer to use your original voice. Are you saying it's safer because you are worried about, like, safety in the sense that people around you, or safer as in how you feel? Like, oh, it's really hard for me to do that. But I'm presuming because you said I've been trying my hardest to train my voice, and while I'm happy, I'm absolutely not. It's probably not great to outside listeners.
Yeah.
Right?
First of all, kill that thought in your head. Okay.
Kill that thought. Let's just.
That's a cop in your head. Kill
Yeah,
them.
that
Let's
is a
get that out of
cop
the
in your
way.
head. Get them out.
That's the gender cop. Kill
Yeah.
them.
But let's go with that train of thought, right? That you don't feel safe using it because it's safer to just mask. It's safer
Make
to
their
just
pronouns
use
one word.
your original voice. And like, keep trying, keep working on it, because my voice was all over the place when I was vocal training, and it was a little dysphoric, you know, because I wanted to sound a certain way. Like, that was something I genuinely wanted to change for myself. And you have to find the experience to keep trying. And so that means you're just going to have to use that voice, because eventually you'll find a good, like, even ground where it's not uncomfortable anymore. You are set in your ways. You're comfortable. You're just talking without even realizing you're doing another voice, so to speak.
Exactly.
So just kill that first thought in your head, because, like Vixie said, that's a cop in your head.
Mm-hmm.
and just use that voice, because the only way you're going to become more comfortable with that voice is by continuing to use it and allowing your throat, your chest, your diaphragm, everything that goes into your voice, you're allowing it to adjust to that. And, you know, it's just going to be like second nature, you know, like literally I can talk like this and then all of a sudden I can just drop it back down.
Yeah.
Because you're comfortable with it. But then you can just go right back in, you know? That takes time. That takes experience.
Oh, God.
Crush my cock with a rock, I must.
Yeah.
Ooh, penis in your bench, bro.
Penis exploder.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Groot saying here, oh God, I can't believe I made it to it. This varies based on your region, but your average person is not as good at telling gender from voice as you think. Yeah. Like,
And also like most
Nobody
people
is.
just ask if they want to know. Like
Yeah.
nobody can assume your gender based on your voice.
fucking, before I even had like a shred of thinking about like me being trans, I got called she on the phone once at work, okay? Like, the people are fucking stupid out there, okay? People are fucking stupid.
Can I tell you I've told this story a couple times before, but it's one of the things like before I came out to myself in high school, I really distinctly remember a conversation I had with some guy who said that, quote, "I have a brain like a girl's, and that's pretty neat." I did not think about this for a long time.
What the fuck does that mean, though? Like...
I don't know, because he was misogynist.
Oh, okay, so he was
But he
calling,
said it-
he
but
was
he said it
calling
with
you
a
a
level of-
pussy. There, is what
But
he
he
was
said it
saying.
with a level of reverence that was bizarre. I was like, I thought you didn't like, I thought you hated women. What the?
Oh my God.
You
What
have
is
a
the
brain like a
truth?
girl, which is why I'm shoving you in this locker.
Huh?
God. Oh, man. No, but
And
like...
I think that's really funny. Like, people don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
They don't. They really fucking do not.
People
like,
will genuinely be like, "Oh, we can always tell," and then they shit themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I
it's,
love when people are like, "Oh, I could tell you're like." At my last job, people didn't know that I was trans, but people knew that I was queer. And somebody was like, well, "I knew you were gay," and I'm like, "No, you didn't. You assumed that I was gay."
Precisely.
Mm-hmm.
Precisely. You didn't know
Well, what's the
because
difference?
you didn't tell them.
The difference is that you assumed I was gay based on your own internalized stereotyping of people, but
Yeah.
I never told you I was gay. I hate that discourse so much. It's as old as time where people are like, "I knew you were gay." I'm like, "No, you didn't. You
No,
assumed
you
I was
fucking
gay."
did not,
And then
bro.
even if you assume that someone's gay and they're like, "No, actually, I'm straight," don't be one of those bitches that are like, "Are you sure?" Shut the fuck up.
Cis people, straight cis people
Just
love to
because-
think they know how to.
Just
they know more than
because-
queer people.
Just because he has a musical theater degree does not mean he's gay.
Yeah, exactly.
He has the
Might just
potential
mean
to
he's
be.
a dumbass.
Yeah, exactly.
He might have the potential to be, but he's not.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
I was gonna say, like, I remember in college I had a professor who I thought was gay the entire time, and I could have sworn, and because like he was like we were in theater class and everything. He was one teaching theater class. I was like, oh yeah, this guy's gay. And then for one day, he reveals to us that he has a wife, kids, and he's Mormon. And I'm like, what? And that
Mormons
was
got
more
punched.
shocking than anything else we learned that day.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
what the fuck do you
exactly.
mean? You're Mormon? What the fuck?
Yeah. There is something else
Sorry,
with
go
this
on.
question that I want to point out. Just like, it makes other people uncomfortable. That's their fucking
'em.
problem, not
Fuck 'em.
fucking yours. All right?
That's an issue they got to deal with.
Yeah, that's their fucking problem. People sound like this, all right? I'm uncomfortable if you use that voice. Well, get comfortable with it, or stay uncomfortable and fucking deal with it, asshole.
Be an adult.
Fuck
Put on your
you.
big boy
Yeah,
pants.
yeah,
and be
this is what I
can
mean.
deal with someone sounding in a voice that I didn't expect them to have.
Do not make your space smaller to accommodate people who make you feel like shit. Straight up. Straight up. You know,
Because-
I'm starting Wrath
because-
Month. I'm starting Wrath Month early with this one here.
Hell
Fuck,
yeah.
Fuck that. That part of that question has been like eating at me the whole time we've been talking. Just like, it makes other people uncomfortable. Who fucking cares?
So, like,
Every last one of those people can fucking die, and I wouldn't care. All right, and I hope they do. I hope they fucking do for doing that to you.
Oh,
All right.
you're uncomfortable. Ooh. I hope when you wipe your ass next time, you actually slip your finger in and have an awakening. You fucking bitch.
Yeah. I hope your car gets a fucking flat tire the next time you're 3 hours away from home.
I hope you shit yourself.
Yeah.
That's like the fourth time I've said shit yourself today. I'm on a bender.
Yeah,
Shit
yeah.
yourself.
No, it's fine.
shit
I
yourself.
fucking was charging up levels of super for that one.
No, I felt that I felt
The
your meter
overheat
hit
was-
max. And you're
Yeah,
like, no, I
yeah,
gotta do this now.
exactly.
I gotta spend the money, or it's gonna roll over to the next round, and I won't be able to use it.
Yeah,
You've been holding on to burst the entire game. And I was like, use it, please.
You got boost power.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm
You
calming
good?
down a bit. Yep. I am good. I am bringing up the next question here. This one.
I'm eating trail mix.
Excellent.
Oh, sick. I could go for some
Yeah.
trail mix.
Next question is, when/how did you love yourself after learning you were queer?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. No, this one. Yeah. No. You're gonna have to be positive about yourself. We've been very positive about other people.
fuck.
You're gonna need to be nice to yourself here. All right.
God damn it.
I gotta
My
go.
sworn enemy.
Vixie, you get your stupid
Change the user limit.
ass
Change it
back
down.
in
Change
here now. Fucking bitch. Sit your ass down, all right? Jesus Christ.
All right.
All right.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done with that joke.
Yeah. All right. This is we are going to be nice
Rubbing
to
my-
ourselves here. Okay.
Rubbing my hands together. I got
Alright.
this.
Yeah, you got this for yourself?
Yep.
You are not you are not allowed to talk about other people. We're talking about yourself here. When
Yeah,
slash
that's
how?
the fucking question.
Yep. I'm just saying that like we're not weaseling out of it here. When slash how did you love yourself after learning you were queer? Go ahead.
So I was kind of lost, dazed, and confused for a long time with being queer because I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. You know, I was like, maybe I want to go on HRT, but maybe I don't. You know, all that kind of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I became a VTuber. And I met other queer people in the VTubing space who also don't give a shit.
Yep.
Who would just be like, who cares? Like, you can be trans femme and not on HRT. Like, who cares? It happens all the time. Like, it doesn't make you any less of a person, right? I'm going to get really sappy for a second.
Please do.
And, like, meeting a fellow queer community, right? And having queer VTubers start to flank me started to teach me to stop caring about this and that and focus on myself, focus on what I like. Because, listen, I got bigger problems to deal with. And I'd rather be comfortable with who I am so that I can tackle those problems. And not gonna lie, I met Odd. And Odd taught me a lot about myself because they help me want to strive to be a better person. And that means being comfortable with myself and being, you know, we're never ever going to be like 100%. But having this person that gets me, that understands me, that I like strive every day to be better, not just for myself, but for them, because I know that if I'm okay and I like, I'm there, they're going to be okay too, because we can get through this together. And that translated into my queerness because at the time I was trans femme. You know, I think a lot of my friends remember I was using she, her exclusively.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, I'm kind of feeling like non-binary femme leaning. And Odd was like, then just do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah. And then I did it, and I found out, wow, I really love this, and I'm finally like comfortable with who I am in this position, like gender-wise and sexually and stuff like that. So, like, I'd say about 2.5 years ago, I really like finally found the beginning of the perfect place, and then about a year ago, I was like. So I'd say that, like, yeah, within the last 1.5 to 2 years, I got it down. I got down the when, and the how was just having a queer community, having people to talk to about it, and learning more things, because sometimes you just don't know what you are or where you want to be in life until you hear somebody else talk about their experiences, and you're like, huh, well, that sounds very similar to me.
Yeah. You don't even know it's an option sometimes.
Mm-hmm. So when I say, like, I love Odd, like, naturally, yes. At baseline, I love Odd, but, like, Odd has literally helped me become a better person and wants to see the best in me. Always has my best interests in mind, and that's helped me. That's, like, the how is just, like, we're both figuring it out. And also just being loved by my friends and by my partner for who I am. And I don't have to say I'm sorry, and I don't have to think about it. I'm just who I am.
Yep.
And everybody is emphatically in agreement for it. It's like you start to doubt yourself. You ask yourself a lot of questions. You're like, but then when it actually happens, when you actually have friends that care about you, love you, and you have a partner that only wants your best interests and all these other things, you start realizing that all that doubt and all that strife you inflicted upon yourself was just unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just you holding yourself back, and I know it's not easy, and you still got to take like little baby steps, but you got to make those steps. You got to it's not about the when, it's about the how, and you got to get there, and it takes time, but
there are other people to help you along.
But I've always loved being queer. I don't want to say, like, when I was in middle school and I, realized, oh, shit, like, yeah, I'm definitely not straight. I guess not to say I didn't love myself, because I loved that I was figuring this out about myself, because I've always been kind of lost, throughout my childhood and stuff. And it felt good to, like, learn something about myself. Because you just kind of coast through life without really realizing what you're doing and where you want to go. And that was, like, the impetus of my life, was discovering I'm queer and I want to hang out with queer people. But I would say it's been a journey for many years, and it wasn't until about 2 years ago to even like within the last year that I really nailed it down and figured out exactly where I want to be. And I don't feel like there's any room for change. I don't want to say room for improvement, but room for change, room for there's still a little bit of doubt. Like, nope, non-binary femme. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Perfect. So for me, that's the one and the how.
Yep.
Thanks, VTubing. Thanks, Marine Ho, showing your fat fucking tits. Got me into this shit.
Thank you, Marina Hosho.
Thank you, Marine. My Yoshi.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at my Marine figure. Hold on.
Yeah. Take a moment for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at my buff pup figurine real quick. Okay.
All right. Vixie, do you want to answer next, or? If you need a moment, I'll go.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay. I think, like, for me, like, figuring that out, like, because for me, like, figuring out that, like, I was queer and I was trans, it really, like, it was a sort of thing where it's just like, oh, a veil has been lifted, the static has been turned down, the sort of, like, uncomfortable, like, feeling that I had kind of sort of tuned out for the longest time was no longer there,
Yeah, no, that's real.
That, like, that, it's just like, something's off, but I'm just dealing with it, It's like,
It's
yeah,
like a weight in your chest, and you just feel like it's gone, and you're just, I can breeze through and focus on other things.
Yeah, I can focus on the important shit now. Like, that's the biggest, like, feeling with that. It's like I can feel, it's like, oh no, I can feel like I feel better about myself in a way that I never have before, you know, with this. Oh, you know, and it's like, I do not, like, you know, like, want to, like, the fact that, like, I figured out just, like, first of all, it took me a long time to even figure out that being non-binary was a thing, okay? Like, figuring out that, like, it was even, like, a fucking thing. Like, I didn't figure it out till my 30s, because there was so little education, like, out there, like, about it, you know? And then, like, I find out, just, like, because I always, like, I had, like, done, like, something to think about, and it's just like, well, I'm, yeah, I'm a little, like, weird or whatever, but it's like, I don't think I'm, like, a transgender woman. I don't think I'm a woman. Well, I guess there's nothing else. And it's like, no, figure out, it's just like, no, you can kind of do whatever you want. You know, you can be non-binary. I'm like, wait, you can just fucking do that? You can just do that?
whatever you want.
And, like, yeah, like, the pit in your gut, the weight in the chest has been lifted. The fact that it's been lifted with that, and I was just like, oh, and I was like, I am so fucking happy, and it's like, I never regretted, like, ever, like, you know, feeling that way. Not that I'm saying that, like, that's part of the process or whatever is regret. It's just like, no, I never felt it, because, like, I don't want to fucking go back to that previous feeling, like, not in the slightest, you know? I feel so much, like, fucking better, like, about myself, and then it's just like, it uncapped, like, so many other things, like, for myself. Because now it's just, like, now this thing that has kind of sort of, like, held me back, now is, like, I figured this out now, and now I can have a clear enough head that I can think about other things about myself. I can actually, like, make improvements about myself in other ways, because, like, this big thing that was clouding me, without me even realizing it was clouding me, it's gone now. So now I can be an actual fucking person. Like, that's what like I really, like, started to love myself, is when I, like, figured out, just like, oh wait, no, this is my identity here, you know? And it's like, it has been like a process for me, you know? It's just like, I had to figure this out about myself. Now it's like, okay, now there's something else to figure out here. And the fact that I have been able to take the time to figure out all these things is just like, I never would have gone down this path at all. Like, fucking at all, if I hadn't taken the time to think about and figure out my gender. You know, and that's what really makes me happy, is the fact that, like, all of this was, like, brought on by the fact that I took the time to love myself and figure that's about myself. Because then it led to so many other things. If I still was, like, you know, thinking I was cis, I would not be here right now with y'all. I wouldn't be streaming right now. I wouldn't be living where I'm living right now, okay? Like, things would have been, like, very, very, very fucking different for me.
Speak your truth, sister.
Yeah. It's like, you know, so this is why when we say you gotta rip the Band-Aid off with certain stuff, you know? It's just like, hey, you're just stopped up on this thing. You're denying yourself, like, a brighter future from all the other stuff that you're thinking about, you know? Not everyone can solve every problem at the same time. You have to handle them one at a time, because you know what? You handle one problem, like, there's going to be the other ones that your brain pushed aside to deal with that one. But it's like, once you get through get the momentum going, it gets easier. It gets so much fucking easier. Like, that's, you know, and also, I have progressed so much, like, with this, that one of the things that I say all the time is I say, me being trans is the least interesting thing about me. That doesn't mean it isn't important. It just means that, like, hey, there's a lot more to me than just being transgender. And the reason there's a lot more to me than being transgender is because I figured out the transgender part, and it gave me the space to figure out all these other things about myself. That's why how I learned to love myself.
Yeah, and the second least interesting part about Ashely is that she's a Williams fan.
Yes! Wait. Hey.
Got him. Clip it. Clip it and ship it.
Wait a
Clip
fucking
it and
second.
ship it, chat. We fucking got her.
You fucking... They did so bad today. Come on. Leave them alone.
Yeah.
God. Damn it. Ugh.
Got him. Got him. Got their ass so fucking good. I'm
This is so fucked.
Mission accomplished. Not so impossible after all.
I'm gonna drink some water.
Mission possible.
Anyway, Vixie, well, would you like to answer, or are you good?
I should probably sit back from answering this one. I don't think I would.
Okay, no problem. No problem. I am not here to make you answer stuff you don't want to. So that's fine. Let me look at some of the stuff in chat. Some people have said some good things here. Osmium saying, we were just kind of going through the motions back when we first realized we were queer. Then it was like 6 or 7 years of thinking we're X or Y or Z. Then we realized we were trans femme. Everything just clicked, and it was right to us. Yeah, HRT is going to be ages away, but the little things along the way, like clothes and friends, help us through life. Yeah, exactly. Following up further, realizing we weren't cis in any fashion helped us get away from a bunch of toxic stuff in our life. Couldn't be happier. Serena's saying, I always think it's funny. I realized I was trans the moment I made an effort to deal with my major depression. Like the second I first took my antidepressants and the fog in my head cleared, I realized I was trans. There you go. There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah. You figure out, like, it's like, you figure out this one thing, and then it's like a lot of other stuff will fall into place, you know? And it's fucking beautiful. It's hard for me to answer this about relating to other people who's influenced me. Well, that's fine, though, you know? Like, I'm not gonna say that I did, like, my gender realization all fucking by myself, you know? I had to figure out a lot of shit, like, by myself. And not by myself.
We need each other.
From other people.
Why we need each other, and we can't keep infighting. It's why we need each other, because it's the only way we're gonna fucking succeed and be happy and healthy in life. Like, even if you're broke and, like, you hate your job and stuff like that, as long as you have community and, like, you're centered with yourself, you are copacetic, all these other problems, like we've been saying, we figure out our gender, then I can be like, all right, well, you know, it'll help me, you know, with other things, like, oh, I'm not worried about this, I'm worried about, oh, I gotta get a job, you know. And it's like, you can tackle those things because you don't have this other big looming shadow influencing everything and just making it worse.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you take care of that, and then it's like the light shines on everything else. You know? Oh, Alpha saying, my gender journey from male to non-binary to my non-binary femme to girl to robot girl thing to girl question mark to robot girl thing was wild. Yeah. And you never would have gone on that journey if you hadn't taken that first step. Like, with it. Like, straight up. You know? And Rini saying, what Juliet said, having people around us that express similar feelings validate us has made the journey a bit easier, even when we're not even close to the finish line. Yeah, like I said, if it was just me, like if I did not have like a community like of people around me or meeting other like queer people or anything, it's like I wouldn't have figured out being a non-binary was a thing. I wasn't gonna figure that out like on my own. So yeah, there are going to be outside influences. That's why. That is a reason. I'm gonna get full of myself here for a second here, if you will allow me.
Only a second.
No, only a second. Yeah, whatever. I try to be as openly like queer as possible because I know how important it is to see other queer people. Like I know how important it is for that. You know, it's like if I'm out there, if I'm like actually like, you know, telling people actually I go by they them to people I meet like IRL. And it's like, hey, that maybe that will someone else sees that, and that means that they think like, oh, that means I can do it too, because that happened to me. That literally happened to me. You know, like, someone said, I think Groot or who was it said before? It said Serena said it takes a village. Yeah, absolutely. This is the point of community. This is why we have a community here, because we are here to uplift each other. You know, there's no shame in being influenced by other people. Because you know what? Hey, it wasn't happening. It wasn't happening with me on my own. You know, so I'm glad that there were other people. Like, oh, God.
Truth and real.
Yeah, absolutely agreed there. Definitely think my new friend group has definitely helped develop a lot, especially with many good transparent friends. Yeah, exactly. We're all here for each other. Absolutely. Oh, God. Okay. All right. Do we have any more questions here? Okay. Oh, this one, Nyari, this one is about being non-binary. So, yeah, rub your gay little hands together for this one here. Quick check. Are both y'all okay? Do you need a break or anything? We've been going for 2.5 hours.
I'm good.
I might need a break to use the restroom, but otherwise.
You know what? Let's go ahead and do that, and then we will answer this next question. Okay?
Get some waiter.
Pee-pee break. Pee-pee
Yep.
break.
Let's everyone take a piss break. Be back soon. All right.
Oh.
Hello, folks. We're back. Here.
We're back.
What up?
What up? I know what the end of that sentence was going to be.
No, I was just saying, what up?
Oh, okay. Oh, hello.
You're the one
Odd.
that's thinking about it. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think we should be looking at you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hello, Odd Video. Welcome.
My love!
Yeah.
My love!
Point
Odd,
out.
hi. Hi, oh my gosh, hi. I talked about you earlier. Please
Yeah. Odd. Nyari was very mushy earlier.
I was just talking about how you help me strive to be a better person. and how that's helped me with my queer journey.
And their response is boobs, gay ass.
Yeah, check your
No,
DMs.
that's right.
Check your DMs, Odd.
Did you send them? What'd you send them?
I can't say on stream.
Okay, I know exactly what you sent them. I know exactly what fucking happened here. All right, let me get us back to the desk. Hello, folks. Okay, all right.
Hello.
All right. Next question here. Okay, so yeah. Oh, hold on. I had to allow gay ass a second time. I think Odd got away with saying gay ass because they're a VIP on the channel.
Correct.
VIPs
VIPs
get to say shit. Okay, so here it is. Maybe this is more of an event than a question, but most of the time I love my body, especially after gaining muscle and some weight. My body appears more neutral. I look what I dream of, and I imagine myself with other girls. I identify as non-binary, lesbian. However,
Slay.
sometimes for a few weeks at a time, maybe once a year, I look at certain thinner masculine men and feel dysphoric. I don't know what to do about this because 95% of the time, I love my body as it is. Are there other non-binary people who feel this way, or am I just shoving the carton of eggs in the back of the fridge?
That's a wild. It's a wild analogy.
Yeah, but I know what they mean. They mean.
Oh yeah, no, I know what they bet. I'm just like, I've never heard that before. I'm stealing that.
Yeah, shove the eggs, carton of eggs in the back of the fridge.
Yes, as you know, as I've said before, I am non-binary. I have realized that is perfectly where I want to be as an identifier. I just feel like that's me. But sometimes I'm like, I wish I had like actual boobs. I have pecs, but I don't have boobs. You know, and it's like, I kind of wish I had boobs. I kind of wish I had this, but going on HRT, what about my muscles? Because it's like, I like being muscular. I like being fucking huge, because when you see me in a tight crop top and a skirt, like, I look massive. You don't fuck with me. You don't fuck with me or my partner or my friends when I'm around, because you see a big buff bitch in a all pink. Like, I will fuck your day up.
Hey,
not only are you getting your ass beat, you're getting your ass beat by a girl.
Which you're welcome, honestly. Yes, Serena's saying sounds hot, TBH. Yeah. Oh, hold on. That was a follow, and the follow thing is covered up right now. Let me see. Jacob Neal, welcome in. Anyway, Yari, I can say right now, like, I don't think you still are. I don't know if you're still having these doubts or about yourself or not, but I have encountered several trans women who are ripped as shit. Okay, like, and they are on HRT. Like,
yeah, no,
do not worry about that.
Oh no, it's just that because you're on HRT, there is a lot more work that goes into it, though.
Yes.
It's not going to be as easy to develop, definition or develop muscles. Like, you can obviously still do it. This was back in the day, by the way. This was like years ago. Nowadays, I'm just kind of debating on whether or not I want to take that jump, and that's just for me. Not for any other reason. It's just like, hey, am I ready to do that? Do I want to do that? Just questions you ask yourself every now and again.
Yeah, precisely.
But to really like hammer it home, yes, other non-binary people do feel this way because you are non-binary. You are graduating from binary, so that means you need to think a little differently. In fact, think a lot differently from how you thought when you were cis. Because now you're like, you need to remind yourself that when you do things, it's not because, this thing isn't mask. I watch sports. That's not mask.
It's not.
Little things like that. Like, that's just an analogy or an example I'll use is like, oh, this is a mask thing, so clearly I'm on mask. It's like, no, like, you can be whoever you want and enjoy the things you do. Like, Ashely and I are non-binary, femme-leaning, femme-presenting people, but we watch F1.
Yeah.
A sport predominantly dominated by male drivers. It's something that could arguably be considered a masculine sport.
Oh, they are doing
But-
their damnedest to make sure it is.
But we're sitting here in the stands cheering for Oscar Piastri or Alex Albon, and spoiler alert, we let it hang.
Wow. Okay, you just exposing me like this. All right.
No, you got your clothes on.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
You got your clothes on.
But it
You'll
is
be fine.
hanging.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
God. Anyway, but yeah, like it's. Sorry.
You're gonna have moments. You're gonna have moments where you doubt yourself.
Mhm.
Where you're like, I don't know if I want to do this because, like, if I go on HRT, I can get off of it if I don't want to be on it.
Yeah.
That's not a problem. But it's like, before I make that commitment, like, I want to be positive that it's something I really want to pursue. You know, rather than just be like, fuck it, I'll try it for like 6 months and, you know, see where it gets me. Where it's like, no, I'd rather, if I made a commitment like that, I would want it to be for years. I would want it to be something that truly feels right with me.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know what? It's like, here's something I'll tell you. And I'm telling, and like, this is not to call you out specifically, Nyari. It's just like you're in the situation, but I also want other people to think about, to know this, because like it's the experience I had. Making that first appointment like is so important because you have their first appointment, you ask a bunch of questions, and then you, by the end of that, you kind of know a lot better whether or not you want to do it. Like the story I tell about my first HRT appointment with Planned Parenthood is the fact that like I was going in, I wasn't even thinking I was gonna do it. I was just like, well, no, I'm just gonna do the appointment. I'm really nervous about it. I've been putting it off for literally like 8 months. I've been putting it off here. Because literally I would keep saying, well, I'll make the call this week. I'll make the call this week. I'll make the call this week. And I just didn't, you know? And then I had the appointment, you know, I talked with the doctor. And they told me like everything associated with it. You know, here's the risks. Here's what you do. And I had some questions and they were like, no, yeah, that's a valid concern. Or some things were just like, no, that's not the case. You know, cleared up a lot of things for me. And at the end of that appointment, they were like, so I could set you up with meds meds today, and you can get them in a couple hours. I'm like, excuse me? So I fucking went from that morning, you know, going to work and then leaving work early because like I had this appointment. Be like, all right, well, I'll go to this appointment, you know, I'm not committing to anything. We'll see what happens, whatever. To taking estrogen with dinner later that night. Like, dead. And the only reason I didn't take the Spyro as well is because they were like, we want you to get blood work done first before you take it.
Yes, having some estrogen, washing it down with a glass of Chianti.
No, it's like I had dinner. It's just like, all right, I guess I'm taking these two estrogen pills.
I'm taking my funny pills
Yep.
that make me silly.
Odd is a great point as well, and some point you got into, Nyari. The beauty of being trans is like you can try shit out. If it's not for you, you can stop. I have
Exactly.
like, I had like, you know, my Spiro. Like I'm okay talking about this here. Like I was on like 100 milligrams of Spiro, which is, for those who don't know, that's the testosterone blocker. Okay, I was on 100 milligrams of Spiro for a while, and I was just like, you know what? I don't like how this feels. Like, you know, I don't like, you know, there's certain things here that like I don't like as much. I kind of want to drop my dose, and so like, you know, I had like my follow-up appointment, you know, had after, you know, every 3 months, and then they were like, okay, yeah, no, we'll drop you down, like, you know, and we'll see how it goes. We'll do it like, we'll drop you down like a little bit by bit, you know, we'll drop you down to 75, see how it feels. Then if you want more, drop it down more, we'll drop you down to 50. I am on 50 now, and I feel a lot better with it, you know, honestly. And I was a little scared about it. It's just like, oh no, I don't want to. Oh no, I want to stitch. I want testosterone. It just like, of course, like all that uncertainty and doubt and such in there. But like, you know, I talked to the doctor about it, and they were like, no, it'll be fine. You know, maybe some things will happen. Like something that scared me a bunch. I'll really expose myself here, okay? Something that scared me a bunch about HRT is like, you know, I was meeting with people in my support group, and one of them like said things that'd be like, yeah, my body changed. My shoe size got smaller. you know, oh, I lost a bunch of muscle mass and everything. And I was like, fuck, that scared me. That really fucking scared me. But I decided to take the plunge and go for it. And like, let me tell you, like, that is not a universal like experience that happened to that person. I still have the same shoes. I still have the same shoe size. I still can kind of lift heavy stuff like I was before. Like I'm doing all right. Am I like as feminine as some people I know of? Not really. Do I want that? Maybe not, honestly. Like, I'm not trying to speedrun femininity here. My goal that I said from the start was, hey, I'm just looking to like shave off the rough edges and like look more neutral. And I kind of have done that. It's just also, I was like, well, the tits are nice. Let's go for more estrogen.
Mm-hmm.
And they are nice, let me tell you.
Nodding.
And let me tell you, they are very nice. You know? But that's the thing, you know, it's just like you go in and you tell them, hey, what are your goals? Like, you know, here's what I want. And they'll be like, here's what you should do. Here's the process that we'll do. It'll take a while, you know?
I would also like to say, if at any point you see somebody like out in the wild, so to speak, and you see they're doing something, and you kind of sit there and you kind of feel a little dysphoric. You're like, oh man, I want to do that. Listen, I want you to follow the Ludwig rule, which is that if you see something fun that you want to do, steal it. Steal it.
So you're saying that like if someone is just like, oh man, I wish I was a girl, go steal a girl gender.
Go do it. You can do that.
Gender.
Yeah, steal a gender.
They present themselves in a way that I wish I could present myself.
Fucking steal their look. Steal their look. Yeah.
Steal their look. You know, it's like, it's as easy as like, and I don't want to say this as in, you know, oh, you should change yourself to fit the ideal of what you think you want other people, but like change yourself in ways that help you and benefit your lifestyle, where it's like, oh, I really like feel this way internally, and when I see other people do it in public, I wish I could do that. It's like, you can just steal.
Yeah, just do it.
Steal their look, steal their shit, you know?
Yeah. Literally just fucking do it.
It's what I like to call the Ludwig rule, because he's like, oh, you think to yourself, oh, this is a YouTube video idea I really want to do. That looks like fun. Steal it. Who cares? Nothing's original. Yeah. Just have fun.
Yeah. Precisely.
Do what you want to do.
Look, like, this is why gender envy is a thing. Be like, oh, I want to look like her. Then do it.
You can.
Then do it. Fucking do it, okay? You know, like, I felt weird when I looked at King from King of Fighters when in high school. I'd be like, and I realized it's like, no, I want to look like that. I want to look like that. And things have changed a bit. I am way too fat to be King from King of Fighters, and that's okay. I like where I'm at right now.
I love where I'm at, you know, and I love that, like, some weeks I don't want to shave, and like, but that doesn't make me any less of a woman. That doesn't make me any less non-binary, you know. It doesn't make me any less femme. Just to be like, I don't want to shave for a couple weeks, you know.
Yeah.
I don't really get dysphoric about it. If anything, I just get pissed off because facial hair fucking sucks.
It does. It does. That's why I'm getting electrolysis now.
Yeah. You know, it's just one of those things where, like, unfortunately, there are going to be some times where you're going to be out in the wild and you're just going to be like feeling a little dysphoric. It's how you manage that feeling and overcome it that really matters, because it's going to happen no matter how comfortable you are. And, you know, if anything, I hope that you can take it as a sign to, like, be a little introspective and maybe tweak something. If you see somebody and you're kind of like, oh, I wish I could do that. Or, you know, even if it's like worst case scenario where you see somebody and you feel dysphoric because you feel like, oh, that's how other people perceive me. It's like, don't worry about what they're thinking, because most people are not thinking about you. Focus on yourself and focus on how you want to present yourself, because your aura is what matters, not theirs. You don't need their approval, and you don't need them to be you. You just need yourself. And if other people around you like it, then stick around them. But don't worry about total fucking strangers. You know, just take that feeling, honor it, don't try to be like, I'm stupid for feeling this way. I'm stupid for thinking this way. Oh, God, I hate this. I hate this feeling. Like, yes, it sucks, and it's a horrible feeling to have. But take it as a sign to continue to be yourself, tweak some things if you really feel like you have to, be introspective about it, and move on from it, hopefully in a healthy and productive way that reflects yourself in a positive way.
Yep. Like we said before, like, do it for yourself because you're around yourself all the time. Yeah.
Also, slay to all my non-binary lesbians.
Mm-hmm.
We're all slapping hands.
Yeah. I'm so compatible with E that Planned Parenthood, Dr. Starman, progesterone only 1 year in the HRT. Serena, I absolutely love that for you. Like, that's kick-ass.
There might be a day where I decide to go on HRT. I've definitely been giving it thought now that I'm in Los Angeles. Like, I could actually do this. Like, I could definitely go through with this if I wanted to.
And
Shit, even if I'm not on HRT, bitch, I want electrolysis. Get rid of this obnoxious facial hair. I hate this shit.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Get rid of it. I don't need it.
Get
you know what?
it
Do it
out
on
of
my
my fucking
do it on my
face.
chest too while you're at it.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah. Vixie, anything to add?
No, I don't think I have anything to add on this one.
Okay. Yeah.
I think we've covered it pretty well.
Yep. I think we got time for one more question. I apologize, folks.
Sure.
There are a couple that were submitted that we're not going to be able to get to. But we're getting towards the 3-hour mark, and I think
we'll do it next Sunday drive.
oh my gosh, is that? We might
I was
have
just
to.
spitballing, but we don't have to.
I might bring it
Let's
up.
just reschedule for another time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Doesn't have to be next
I'll
week.
keep it in the inbox.
Keep it in your back pocket.
Yep. All right, the last question here. What has been your most memorable interaction with another queer person, IRL or otherwise?
Well, no, I'm
Yeah.
not going to talk about that. But
Oh dear.
Well, it was the summer of 2023.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I mean,
I don't think that's how that song goes.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do mine first.
Summer of 23.
Yeah, I'm doing mine here. So, for me, yeah, I'm just gonna do the fucking fake F1 car. This will go great. This was when I was in Florida, and this was after like a support group meeting. We all went and we met at a place that was like basically like considered like a queer bar. It's like, it was a queer bar. A lot of gay people, a lot of trans people like go there. It was a bar and pub. I went there. I got wings and such because I fucking love that. But it was like about time. It was just like it was like downtown, so I had to like park on the street. I had to like kind of park on a side street that was like a few blocks away. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go. And then like this one girl was just like, oh, I'll go with you. And let me tell you, like, this girl is like someone who had like kind of a reputation of being like really fucking cool, like at the meetings. She was like literally like 6'2". She was like,
Hell yeah.
just built, like she was jacked, like, like
Hell yeah.
a big bitch, the most positive big bitch I can say. Okay.
I gotta clean up.
Yeah. She was taller than me, and everything. She had picked the coolest name for herself. And it's a shame that doxing exists because I want to tell you what it is, but it's fine. So this girl who definitely like came in and like, well, one of our meetings and bragged about the fact that it's like fuck. Hey, what's the name of the surgery where they remove your balls?
Orchiectomy.
Yeah, she came in and bragged about her orchiectomy to everyone, and she was proud to brag about it.
Hell yeah. Good.
Say goodbye to your nuts.
Yep. She stood up, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I'll walk you to your car." Mind you, like I am like not like especially out. Like I'm out like like socially, but like not at work or anything of the sort. I'm starting not talking about it like a lot or anything. As far as like everyone's concerned, I'm still male, just like happens to go to this meeting, in secret. But like, I probably would have been completely fine. But she stood up. You know, we were all having a great time. She stood up. She was like, "I'll walk you to your car." I'm like, "Oh, hey, are you sure?" And she's like, "Yeah, no, absolutely." And she walked me to my car and, like, you know, told me, just like, "Look, I just wanted to, you know, look out for you. You're all right." And it meant a fucking lot to me. You know, it meant a lot to me. And, like, we got to my car. She gave me, like, a hug that was, like, you know, one of those really, like, powerful, tight hugs that you get from somebody, you know? And, yeah, and then she went back went back there. But, like, I remember that, like, distinctly, just, like, the kindness she showed, like, in that moment for me with that. That is one of my most prominent, like, memories of meeting, like, being a queer person.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, I'd have to say my most memorable interaction with another queer person, probably, and I know this is kind of a cop-out, but going to a gay bar with Odd to one of my first ever, like, drag shows.
This is not a cop-out. This is not a cop-out. This is not a cop-out.
I was dressed in full femme, like,
That's
crop top, skirt, fishnets, everything. Went out to a gay bar with Odd for, like, one of my first drag shows, like, at a bar, because normally I've been to drag shows that are at, like, amphitheaters or auditoriums, you know, sort of like a stand-up sort of deal. But this was, like, my first, like, real drag show. And I was all dolled up, dressed up, and I was with Odd, and I don't know, it just felt like I felt in that moment that it felt surreal. Like I was having a weird out-of-body experience because I never thought I would ever have that utterly gay experience where I'm fully dressed up. I'm presenting myself exactly how I want to be presented. I'm with my, almost said the wrong thing. I'm here with my boy girlfriend. And we're together, we're gay, we're queer, we're dykes, we're at a gay bar, we're about to watch a drag show, and it was one of the, like, genuinely one of the best drag shows I've ever seen, and I was really, like, honored to be there. And it was during Halloween, my favorite time of the year. Like,
fuck yeah.
Oh my God, it was just such a beautiful experience. And I remember going home that day thinking to myself, I'm so happy to be gay. Like, I'm so happy to be queer. Like, being surrounded by other queer people in a space like that and get to, you know, it's almost like being a part. I mean, like, you're literally being a part of history, but you're watching history unfold. You're being a part of a moment that other people before you had as well. And now you're seeing, like, how your predecessors felt and, like, how all the sacrifices they made to keep our tradition alive, to keep our community alive, to keep us together. You know, like, drag shows have been around for decades, you know, and now we're at a point where, I don't know, it was surreal. Like, I just couldn't believe that it was real, that I'm really experiencing this. I'm queer, I'm with my queer partner at a gay bar, watching other gays watch other gays walk down a catwalk and be silly and hot and sexy. You know, I was like, this is everything to me. This is
a life-changing event.
This is everything to me. Like, I'm so happy to be queer. I'm like, this is why I get dolled up. This is why I get dressed up. This is why I walk outside the way I want to be when I'm comfortable with it, is because even though I'll go to Burbank and get transphobic remarks made at me, I'll still do it. Because this is why, this moment right now where I'm sitting in the middle of history with my fellow community, watching something cultivated for our entertainment, for our community, for our happiness. It's I'm speechless. Like, it's indescribable. It's just, you have to be there and you have to see that happen. And you just want to hold on to that. You want to protect that. You want to keep that close to your chest.
That is genuinely so fucking touching me, Ari. Like, I'm really happy. That makes me really happy. God.
It just, for a moment, I felt like how I feel like maybe my predecessors felt. You know, like I said, like, all the sacrifices they made to protect this community, to protect the people within it. Like, you know, drag mamas, drag mothers, like, they're just there to help other people in this community who feel lost. And it's like, God, we need that. Like, yeah. This is the cultivation of so much sacrifice, so much determination and love for each other and that we even have each other, that we're alive and we get to experience this moment together. Like, I don't know. I was just not only happy to be queer, I was just happy to be alive. Happy that I battled through all the uncertainty and all the doubt and all the harassment and abuse, and I finally got somewhere where I just wasn't thinking about anything other than the moment. And I just go home with a shit-eating grin on my face. My cheeks hurt because I'm like, I'm so happy to be me, and I want to protect this. I want to protect this moment because I want other people after me to experience it too.
Yeah. It's why, like I said, like earlier, of like, I want to like be out here and like openly queer so that like other people feel comfortable being openly queer, like around it. Like,
exactly.
It's
why I'm
so
happy
fucking
we
important.
do these gender streams, because every time we do them, people come out of it like, oh, I learned something. Oh, I feel more confident in myself. I feel more at peace.
Yeah, you saying that, like, you know, it's just like they're here to act like as a guidance for like lost people. It's like I'll admit I kind of want that like from doing this, you know, because I didn't, you know, I had some people, but I didn't have a lot growing up. Like, it's like I fucking went to school in the 90s where it's just like everyone called you the F slur all the time. Yep. Casual homophobia was a fucking thing. There was nothing like safe around there, and there should have been. There should have been. I
may not
they
be a
kids movies with the F slur.
There were kids movies with the F slur in them. Yeah. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey has it in there. You can hear Keanu Reeves saying it. It's insane.
But I will say, like, I may not be a mama, but I'm not MILF coded. I mentioned this before.
Yeah.
But I will be your cool gay aunt that takes you to Victoria's Secret when you start growing boobs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You need to step your pussy up. All right.
Yeah.
Those fucking sports bras you bought at Academy aren't doing it. Step your pussy up. Get some cute lingerie.
Yeah. Oh God. Vixie, do you have a story or experience to share?
Not particularly. I'm sorry I haven't been talking so much. I've just been here crying like an idiot.
No, that's okay.
It's okay.
Vixie. Yeah. Listen, Vixie, I told you before the stream started, you know, you can say as much or as little as you want during this, you know? You're doing great. Don't worry about it. You know? I'm happy that I've been able to move you with this. You know? All right. All right. It has been 3 hours. I did not get a gold on that track. That's okay.
No,
That's
you
right.
didn't.
Yep. It's all right here. But folks, hey, thank you so much for joining us here today. This is a great way to start out the month. You know, yeah, like I said, you know, I'm happy to be like a queer person visible to other queer people here. You know. Yeah.
Yeah.
God. But yeah. I don't know. Maybe later in the month we'll do another one of these. I don't know. We'll see how it shakes out. You know, this was a little spur of the moment for me earlier this week. But it was just like, you know what? It's June 1st. You know, let's have the gender council on. All right. First of all, before we go, this is not my only stream I will be doing tonight. Tonight at 6 p.m. on Eastern Time, on Remy's stream, who I've just shouted out right now, I will be a part of her comeback stream. It starts at 5. I will be on at 6. I will be on her new radio show, INOS Radio, and we're just gonna be talking. If you like to hear me talk, you can hear me talk there. And
Talking shop.
Listen. You like hearing me talk about gender? I'm likely gonna talk about gender with her still. Like, I love talking about this shit because it needs to be out there. The fact that I didn't figure out that the concept of being non-binary wasn't until I was like 32 is criminal. It's criminal. Okay. Yeah. And Ozium, don't worry.
Yeah, make
I
sure
will take care
to
of
check out the
myself.
new IWGP Tag Team Champions, the Good Sisters, over on Remy the Tanuki.
Please do not.
Talking shop.
I don't want to be
Talking
that.
shop.
I don't want to be that.
Talking shop, baby.
No, come on. God damn it. All right. Hey, what's our rate?
You don't want to be. You don't want to be in the BC with me?
No. No.
What do you mean? What do
I
you
don't
mean?
like Bullet Club. Come on. Bullet Club's, well, unless we're, listen, I only want to be in Bullet Club if we're culturally appropriating Bullet Club, okay?
Yeah, that's literally what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, then yeah.
We'll be the cool Bullet Club, like when
Too
Kenny
sweet,
was in
too
there.
sweet me, too sweet me,
Too sweet me, too sweet me,
yeah,
for the love of God.
too sweet me, yeah. All right. What's our raid phrase gonna be today? Because we got a lot of really good lines today.
The Good Sisters, Gawk Gallows and Carla Anderson.
We could do better
I
than
don't-
that. I am not being Gawk Gallows, okay?
Gawk Gallows.
God damn it.
Gender fluid.
Jenna, no, actually, I like how I'm scrolling up here. Rennie said this, just community with a bunch of explosions and hearts. Like, I like that one actually.
I like that.
I
Sure.
like that a lot because we talked a lot today about how important community is in the queer spaces, and yeah, it absolutely is. All right. So, folks, we are going to be reading Casey, Marapi Cow. She just came back to streaming after being away for a few months a couple days ago. I am really thrilled that she's back. She's really thrilled to be back as well. Go say what up. She is playing Remnant 2. Let me get the raid going here. Yeah, raid. Yeah. There we go. All right. Folks, I will try
Pride
and
Month.
Pride Month. That's pretty good. That's pretty good actually. Folks, I will try and have I might have a stream this upcoming Saturday. It'll have to be kind of early because there's a lot of wrestling on next Saturday that I want to watch. So we'll see how that goes there.
Money in the bank, baby.
Money in the bank. Yep. And listen, Nyari, we gotta do Sunday drives every Sunday this month. It's Pride Month. We gotta do it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You haven't seen the last of me.
Yeah. Thank you, Jen Cancel. You're a welcome viewer.
You are welcome, Eve.
Yep. All right. I'm going to the credits now. Vixie, Nyari, thank you so much for being here. I sincerely appreciate both of you being here for
Yeah, I
this.
love being here with my friends.
Yep. All right. Everyone, take care. Happy Pride Month. All right. Later. Bye.
Happy Pride Month,
Bye.
Happy Pride.
friends.
Hey, wait a second.